Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Roll Hit Die presents our Monday night game of Dresden Files, which takes place in New Orleans. Before I pass it off to Rod, who is running our delightful little game here, I'd like to give a shout out to Roll20 for the maps, miniatures, and any kind of visual aids we are using on the screen so that our players as well as our viewers can see what's going on the screen. And I think Robert's got it too. You'll notice two miniatures that are created ourselves through the Hero Forge app subscription. You can create your own little miniature that you can use on your digital games as long as you have a subscription to Hero Forge. So get a chance, go check that out. And last but not least, I'd also like to thank our sponsor for our Friday night games, which is GUI Cube. We're currently waiting on the fourth chapter to the Red Star Rising campaign to come out before we can jump back in that and see what kind of trouble I can put these Hanatas through. So, without further ado, I will hand this off to Michael Roderick, who is our game master, I suppose is the best way to put it for this event.
I had a quick question. If I were to share my screen, you're able to put that up on Twitch?
I sure can. I have screen capture ready. So
I share my screen of Twitch. It'd be like picture in picture in picture, and we could do the from Spaceballs the "We're at now" thing.
Go ahead.
No, it's all right.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm just being a little weird. Because also I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, that could be amusing. Don't know why it popped in my head, but I had to ask. Anyway, good evening. As everyone can probably tell, I'm a little tired. That's going to make me silly. And everyone's just going to have to suffer through it. By everyone, I really mean me, because typically when I'm tired and silly, players get to take advantage of me, which is really kind of a sad state if you think about it, but there's nothing I can do. Joining us this evening, let's see. Let me open up the little overview sheet so I can make sure I get all the names right because I forget them. Gus, aka Timon Angus McManners, portrayed by Robert, is our detective muse. Michael John is playing Gabriel Kashali, the White Council druid. I still want to say swamp wizard all the time. Dave portraying Cyrus Jackson Jack. And of course, Dan Latham, Shadrach Dagar, playing Lever Baptiste, the White Court Grifter. I believe we were in the middle of a shindig. It was not like the summer court shindig, which is all kinds of pleasant and you got to meet everyone. This is a red court shindig.
Murder and death and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're currently on the ship ran by the Red Court. I think did we fight the three vamps already, or we're getting ready to?
No. You started. We had to pause because it took a little longer than anticipated. And so currently there are two of these Red Court vampires left. This first one has filled a few stress bubbles. The second one has also filled a few stress bubbles. And I need probably a new, so we'll say this one here was one. I had to store how many stress bubbles they had in the character's name. So you can see here, as I share the nameplate, you'll see X's and O's. I mean, the people who are watching won't, because you have to, do that. But you guys can probably see some X's and O's. 2, 3, 4, 5. And Red Court, they get a pretty good amount of stress that they can take.
Yep.
And this first one has filled up his 2 and 4. The second one has only filled up his 3. The third one you already took out, and I was surprised that you killed him. That surprised me. That is where we are. We had gone through 3 rounds. Hopefully we'll be able to hurry up, finish this fight soon. And then I will declare the end of the world, since I will have won. We'll call it a night. No. It's not the end of the world. The stakes aren't that high.
Not yet.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, that's right. Not yet. All right. Well, Jack and Lavere are speedsters. Are the only ones who are actually faster than the Vamps. I believe currently this one, Robert, you have in your sights since you are aiming last round.
But I think that got used.
The free tag did get used.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you roll well enough for it to be sticky?
I think that was a 3 or a 4. I can't remember.
All right. We'll go ahead and take it off if it wasn't sticky, and you can always aim and put it back, right?
Right.
It's not hard to do. Jack is currently covered in red quartz saliva, and
That's pretty gross. I said it's pretty gross.
It is. I thought you said Mardi Gras, and I'm like, no, that's not for a while. What is your status? How many of you have taken? I think some of you have taken some stress.
I've only taken mental stress.
Only taken mental stress. Okay.
I'm just hungry.
You are hungry.
And
Well,
I've taken physical stress.
You have. Did we put a thing up here because Lavere was doing some sort of block? Or was that a while ago?
I don't recall what we put up there.
The little thing.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I have no idea.
Well, that's fine. I will always tell you, I believe every one of us here, almost every one of us here, have read most of the Dresden file books. Robert, I know you're current. I won't say why I know that, but I was jealous, and you know that. I don't know about Dave. I know Michael John's not.
I am not current, but I
Okay.
have definitely read at least through changes. I read the next 1 or 2 books after that, but I honestly don't remember it.
I'd like to think
Obviously, I
I'm
remember
current, but
changes.
with the way you just put that, I don't know.
So
Yes, you're current.
Okay,
the last one that came out was Battleground.
then I'm
Definitely
good.
have not.
Then I'm good.
Okay, before that was Peace Talks and then Battleground.
I don't think I've read either of those.
Nope. All right. The reason I was bringing it up is, Harry Dresden does run away. You guys always have the option to run away.
You run away a lot.
He does run away a lot.
Yeah.
And he's also still alive, so that should tell you
That's
something.
it. And he also even talks about he practices running so that he can run away. So remember, it's not D&D. It's not kill 'em all. You guys always have the option to tactically withdraw. I promise I will not call any of you Colonel Runaway for doing that.
Uh-huh.
No, you're not a colonel. So, Jack, what would you like to do?
I did not know I was first. Okay.
Yep.
So, I would like to keep the attention of the one in front of me.
Okay.
So, maybe I could do, what does that sound like? Presence?
As a block?
As I guess it would be a block.
I think so. If
A
you're trying
block
to get him.
against doing anything to anyone other than me?
Yes, that's a block.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's try that. So here's some presents.
Now, if you're doing this, it won't necessarily stop him from doing things to you.
It's not going to stop him from doing things to anyone.
anyone.
Turns out.
Yeah, you're right.
But
All
yeah,
right.
no, that was the goal, to let him do things to me, just not
Now,
to anyone else.
technically, I do still have to resist. So
That's true. That's true. I did poor, but you could do worse. I could spend
is
a
true.
point also. I've got, you know what? I'm going to re-roll that. Why not? Because I am probably the
In the middle of
called
it.
to. I'm called to help people.
okay.
I am helping my teammates by keeping it from attacking them.
Yeah, you absolutely are.
Seriously? Seriously?
All right.
All
Well,
right.
we see how the dice.
Fired.
Oh!
My point back.
Dave,
Huh.
no, this is not something I resist. I just have to get past your reroll. Wow, you went from a -3 to a -4. That is a terrible roll.
Well, we see how the dice rollers are going to go tonight already.
Yeah.
No, Dave, you need like a scientific dice roller. Incidentally,
Hey,
when you move,
this
you left
is
some of those dice here. I
this
still
should be
have.
an adequate random number generator in Roll20.
I still have those dice, by the way.
You have those dice? Oh, the World in Flames ones?
Yeah, you left them here
Yeah.
when you moved. So just FYI.
Well,
All
I
right.
had to. They're color coded for World in Flames.
They are. That's true. All right, Levair, how would you like to take an ineffective action?
Did you say ineffective?
Well, I'm assuming you're going to follow suit.
Probably with the dice rollers. We have an electrical fire thing going on right now, correct?
There is an electrical fire. Yes, it's sparking, and you guys are in the dark. I'm sure things are only going to get worse.
Yeah. So can I? I want to try to kick this vampire into a panel that's kind of blowing out.
Okay.
So
How did we get the electrical fire? I think that was. I think I put that down after you cast your spell.
Yeah.
I think I oops anyway.
You did.
I think that's what it was. All right.
So it's the wizard's fault.
Not my fault.
Well, yes, of course it is.
In fact, that even sounds like an aspect, doesn't it?
What is?
It's the wizard's fault.
That sounds absolutely preposterous.
All right, so I'm gonna roll, I guess, a fist to try to just kick him into it.
Okay.
There's a 3.
There is. I have to resist that. I have not. So on a tie, how much stress do you do?
Let's see. Fist weapons is a weapon of 2.
Okay.
So what is the stress on that?
2.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So that'll roll up. All right. I assume you're all done. It doesn't shove him back into the electrical fire.
Well, let's. I guess I could just go ahead and play this fate on the electrical fire to boost me up 2 more points.
You absolutely can.
Let me go ahead and bring that out. There we go.
So you're now naked. Your fate is no longer in your hands.
It
I
rarely ever is.
Stress. What's that?
I said it rarely ever is.
Now, I don't think either of them have taken consequences yet. And you guys are starting to look a little worse for wear. So something for you to think about.
Yes.
I think it is time. You know what, Dan? He is just going to, while you're kind of coming at him, spit full in your face.
All right.
Ideally, he's kind of, and this is going to sound disgusting, he's aiming for your mouth.
Whoa! You should put on a mask.
Oh, it's too late for that.
It's also too early in the timeline for that to be an issue.
That's probably true.
So why don't you go ahead and give me a defense there?
All right. Darn.
Darn is right.
Wait. Well, I guess it's a 3, not a 2.
Is it exactly a okay? Because you didn't take the +1. Huh?
I didn't add the +1 for the dodging.
Okay. Well, that's probably good for you. So that is going to just barely hit you in the mouth.
Don't swallow.
And I did not. Unfortunately, I was doing that to inflict stress, and I believe that I failed to do so. I needed it to be a little higher because the weapon rating does not really seem to apply.
All right.
It was going to do mental stress.
Ugh. That's bad.
No, it's not. It's great. All of a sudden, they start taking you out that way, because I bet he can't take a whole lot of mental stress. Dave, you are covered in red quartz saliva.
Correct. Covered in it. It's all over.
Yep. And I think it's probably time for me to do some grappling with you. So I have to actually look that up on the page, because if I do a word search in the PDF, it's going to crash my system.
Yeah.
We're going to go to page 211, because that's where it talks about.
The PDF is unfortunately not well optimized.
No, I mean, it works nicely in terms of where things are.
You mean like the layout? Yeah. I mean, it's the same layout as the book.
That, but even the PDF, it's all hyperlinked internally,
Oh, yeah.
which I like. Have you taken any consequences, Dave?
I have not. No.
No. You're so fast.
I am fast.
Well, you're probably slowing down a little bit because you are covered in that red quartz saliva. So I am going to spend that point on red quartz saliva since you're slowing down and try to grab you.
Okay.
And I am going to roll might. Oh, my might is terrible. So, unfortunately, I have grappled you very, very badly, which means you basically have a block of 1 just on you.
Right, don't I get to resist it?
No, grapple's a little different. That's why I was tagging the covered in red quartz saliva.
Oh.
Grapple is a type of block. Now, you can turn it into other things later, but it is ultimately a type of block.
Okay.
All right, Gus, what do you want to do?
Well, one is now grappling Jack. LeVere is still dealing with his. I'm going to, since Gabe has now told us about the stomach, I am going to aim for this one's stomach.
Which one?
Shoot. The one on LeVere.
Okay. Not the one in the grapple?
No.
Okay.
You sure you might be on target?
No, I don't want to risk that. So that's a good.
Yeah, that guy has to roll some dodginess, doesn't he?
Yep.
Athletics. This is not good.
Nope. So that is a weapon 3.
So that's going to be 3 stress, and
it rolls up.
Well, unfortunately, because it does not include I can't use my armor against. I can't use my toughness powers against that. I'm going to have to take a consequence.
Oh, okay.
So I think we're going to give me a minor consequence. What do we want to call that?
Didn't think. Electrical fires over there.
I like to copy paste. It's just easier.
Okay. I'm just gonna say belly full of lead.
Okay. All right. So he now has a belly full of lead, which technically is going to have that free tag on it. So we will keep track of that. All right, Gabriel.
How do I get rid of that electrical fire?
Not with water.
You tell me.
Well, I can channel lightning, right? Can
Yes.
I channel the electricity out of whatever's powering the fire? Whatever's keeping it going.
in terms of physics, you're saying I want to pull so much electricity out of the electrical fire.
Yeah, basically break the circuit, or break whatever's powering the circuit.
So you might then, instead of pulling electricity out, just try to force more in to burn out and trip whatever circuits are going somewhere. Bear in mind, this is an oil tanker.
Right, which is
Hexing.
Hexing could actually do it, yeah.
Yeah, how do I hex stuff? Because I know that that's its own thing, and that's not going to cause me to bleed out of my nose.
It might.
Mm.
So I believe that is under the evocation ability. So hexing, 228. Oh, only a few pages away from there. All right, so why? How it works. Focus application, there's accidental hexing. It is an evocation effect. Deliver hexing on page 258. See, it hyperlinks very well. So that lets you summon. In addition, the normal 1 stress cost for summoning power up to your conviction is waived, giving you a free shot at most forms of technology.
So do I even take the stress?
No.
Okay.
What's your conviction?
4.
Stay 4 or less, and no.
Then I'll do 4.
Still got to roll discipline.
Yep. I got a 2.
So that's not going to get it done. Would you like to take some backlash or fallout?
Well, if I take backlash, does it? I still don't get there, right?
Yeah. So you still summoned 4. That's what you needed to do. Now your backlash lets you control it. So that 4, then you could say, you know, I'm going to take 2 stress, which could be physical or mental.
Okay, in which case I'll do that and take the 2 physical stress.
2 physical. Okay. So you're basically hexing this. And unfortunately, you've brought, like, you know, whatever you've done, these sparks shoot out and are now covering you. But you have managed to put out the electrical fire.
Because those are bad, especially on an
It
oil
hurt,
tank.
it hurt, though,
Yeah,
obviously.
no, it didn't feel good.
No, it didn't. All right, Jack.
So much for not bleeding from your nose.
I'm just burning a little bit. It smells probably pretty bad in here. I mean, it already did, but
I mean, it does smell a little like singed
I
really.
was gonna say a little burnt hair and ozone going on there.
Yep.
All right. So, I am
And we're going to change the covered, by the way, I think, to held by the red cord. Whoops. That makes sense to you, Dave?
held by the red cord. Well, I'm
Red
both,
cord
right?
embrace?
Like the one doesn't go away just because I have the other, right?
Well, not completely, but he's kind of, you know, he's playing with it. He messed with it a bit.
Okay.
Because it's got a grapple on you, right?
He does have a grapple on me. I am going to.
I can't believe they only have a might of that. That seems low. The might. I'm thinking I rolled the wrong number, and maybe it's better than I did it, but I have to double check.
Oh,
could be.
Good check.
What? Anyway, what would you like to do there, Dave?
I am going to. I'm gonna try to feint him. So I think I could do that using deceit, probably.
What are you doing?
To do a feint. So in the grapple, we're kind of moving around.
Oh, like you trying to escape the grapple, or more trying to reverse his hold?
This is. I thought this was going to be put an aspect on him, unless you have a.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to put an aspect down? Go for it.
Yeah, just fainted or something. You know, so.
Yes.
So I'm going to go that way, but then I go this way, and you know.
Yeah.
Maybe that can get him out of position.
Yeah. Go. Give me a deceit roll.
So.
Ooh,
Do that. Oh boy.
good luck.
Nope.
Did you roll another -3? Wow, Dave.
All right.
I would not throw.
Hold
Well,
on.
I mean, I would not throw a point after it because I have that 4.
That's true. I only have a +2 on deceit. Yeah, not worth it. All right. Well, there we go.
Yeah,
That's what
Lavere.
happens.
Well, I'm
Here goes
going
the man. He's
to.
about to get. It is dark. He's held by the red cord. He's about to get dragged off into the darkness.
I'm going to just hammer blow the stomach of this creature.
You're gonna what?
Hammer blow. Just double fist punch him in the stomach.
Okay.
That's right. That's not to hit. Only does the damage.
Ooh. Oh.
Fantastic.
So right now we're looking at 3 stress for this guy.
Now, fist says it's a weapon too, and strength hammer blow gives me a +2 to the damage. So
Hammer blow. What's the hammer blow? Do you have a?
it's in inhuman strength. With attacks that depend on muscular force, fists, thrown weapons, etc., you are at a +2 to damage, increasing the stress dealt by 2 on a successful hit.
Yep, that's already included. That's why you. That's why you've been doing stress 2 all this time.
Just making sure I was getting it right.
You did. It's. I think it's easier to kind of put that stuff down all in that one spot, which is why the additional note says fist weapon 2. Now, if you could hit somebody with your cane, which is a weapons roll, you're gonna hurt them more than you will with your fists.
Yeah, I need to adjust.
Start changing some. Yeah. All right. So, but you beat me by what was that? 2?
Yes.
So you've done 4 stress. I have 1 armor. That means I'm going to take 3 stress total. If you'd like, you can always try to use the
belly full of lead.
if Robert's willing to give it to you.
He's muted, but it looks like an affirmative.
Muted, but I can read lips, and he said, "Yeah, sure, you can have it." It looked like.
All right.
Yep, sorry.
That's okay.
So that'll pop me up 2 more then.
Yeah, which gets you to 5. He does not want to take 5. Ugh. So I think we're talking moderate consequence. The spiral has started. So you've done that, so you've probably torn that wound a little bit, right?
Yeah, probably. Just like stuck a finger in it, tore it open.
Yeah. So he's got a ripped up belly, and unfortunately, this is why a good friend of mine refers to these things as you've started the death spiral.
Because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's once you have it, it just gets easier and easier to hit them.
Yep.
All right, cool.
I think it is time for this red cord vampire to run away.
Okay. Don't let me stop.
Now,
was gonna say,
so here's the thing.
Can I stop him?
Maybe. What I was about to do was give you all a point and tag in the dark and have him get away.
Okay. I don't mind getting a point.
I don't mind getting a point.
Now, unfortunately, that also gives me one, which I shouldn't.
I mean, I'd say something about how I can see in the dark, but I'm currently held by the red cord, so
That's it. You're facing. You must have
I'm
you
not doing
facing the
anything
door.
about it.
So this guy, he runs off into the dark, and I'm going to take a note that 1 red cord vamp escaped. I'm sure that won't come back to haunt you at all.
No, never.
Not never.
Now we weren't showing our faces.
Yeah, and look, it's not my MO, right? I don't use things like that against you.
No, never.
Right.
We are in a fantasy game, so I guess that works.
Yeah. Rod would never do that. The NPCs, on the other hand.
Yes. Yes. All right. I have good news for you, Dave. This guy is not dragging you off into the dark. Instead, you just feel this tingly, wet sensation as his tongue kind of lolls out around the side of your neck and just goes up it. And you just feel this like electric sensation running through your body.
You're about to
Ooh.
So just go ahead, take
Okay.
1 mental stress. And then we're
I
each.
did-
I am going to roll my might again. This time with a -1.
Okay.
So with that number, that's the block I have on you. I'm fairly certain you're about to throw him the grapple off.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna get swing, right?
What?
He needs to roll a +1 and he'll have swing on him, right? +1. To roll a -.
Not sway, spin.
Right, spin. I don't know why I'm saying.
I wasn't sure. It took me a moment though. But
Okay.
yes. All right, Gus. One left.
But Jack is still in the grapple with him.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to pull my trusty trudgeon out,
Okay.
and I'm going to go over there and whack him upside the head.
Go for it. That's a truncheon. I can defend that with fists, and I will do
Yep.
so.
It's not worth spending the fate points on this, so
I don't think so. But you're also kind of up here with these guys.
yeah.
All right, Gabriel, what you want to do?
So I could roll athletics to try to, push one over, right? Make it easier for.
Yeah. Like
Or can I-
like a bull rush kind of thing?
Could I do that to try to get rid of the held by the red court?
Yeah, that'd be maneuver.
All right, I don't have maneuver.
No, that's a maneuver. It'd probably be athletics.
I was looking down. I'm like, maneuver's not a thing. All right, athletics.
Yeah.
So I will do that.
Ooh, beat my 4. You have not.
I got an even roll.
No, hey, it was a good idea. It was a very good idea. All right, Jack.
And I will be over here. 'Cause I have-
All right. So, so this guy's still on me.
Yep.
That belly full of lead thing seemed to work well, but I don't have any lead, so I'm just gonna try and give him a good knee in the stomach.
Okay.
Got punch.
Yeah. Is that
You have a bunch of coins, so you don't need another fate point.
No, I don't need another fate point. That's still fist, even though it's my knee.
Yes. I have a fair.
All right.
Oh wow,
That's all I got.
that's still going to be technically good enough to break the grapple.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
Wasn't
It
very.
will change his back now
Okay.
to covered in red court spit. That's close enough to what it was. All right, LeVere, can you do something about this guy? He's taking very little stress.
Let's see. I suppose I can do so. Let's see. What's this do for me? I'm, I don't know. I'm just used to hitting things and being able to be going with it. Can I try to incite emotion in this thing?
You can try. I guess we'll see what happens.
Just run my hand across the back of his neck and incite emotion.
You can try.
So we'll use what is a deceit roll for that.
Yeah. What's your fists?
My fists is
Yeah. What's higher?
Fists is higher. It's superb.
All right, then yeah, you can go with deceit.
All right, so I can touch someone. You can make him feel something. You're able to maneuver at a +2 to your roll. Force an emotion on the target. So I guess.
So are you going for a maneuver or stress? Because a maneuver,
I want to give it. I want to give it mental stress.
must, right?
Yeah, I want to give it mental stress.
All right, so then that's an attack. Go for it.
Okay, so no plus, right?
What do you mean no plus?
No plus. The maneuver is what gives me the +2. So this is just
If
straight
you
roll.
successfully landed it.
All right, so there we go.
All right. And since you're actually trying to touch me, I'm still going to, I think, use my fist to resist getting touched. I have not.
So yeah, I'll say I put my hands on both sides of his face as he's facing Jack, and just kind of.
Yeah, what sort of aspect is this going to be?
Well, it's stress.
Yeah. So.
Yes, but how much stress does it do?
Hell if I know. Because I don't think it's actually used in this method, is it?
I don't know that it normally is.
No, you have to buy it up to have it do stress.
Ah, he is not. So then it's just 3. However, it is mental stress. Guess what I don't have a lot of? Mental stress. Which, if you had spirit magic, you could totally do mind magic to
I'm just gonna go.
vampires.
Hey, look, your brain. I was thinking about that.
It's a little on the dark side, but not technically disallowed.
It depends on who I'm doing it to.
That's why I said not technically disallowed. It's great.
Yes.
All right. Where the bloody hell is this? P. Look for P, and I keep going past the damn page. All right, so
Yeah.
motion.
Really thought about just taking off running in the dark and see if I could find that other one.
Oh, I defend with discipline. Not great. So it looks like it's not going to deal stress so much as it's more of a block. So you've established a block of 5.
Okay.
Right, is kind of with your touch there. Which is what he'll have to overcome to do things to anybody else for the next exchange.
Okay.
And so, of course, he is going to turn on you and attack you. He's missed. You don't even need to roll, because your minimum roll is the 5.
Right.
All right, Gus. You guys seem to have surrounded this thing. You don't like it.
Should have done.
I'm thinking I'm going to set up for this next round.
Okay.
So I'm going to switch out and get my gun back into my dominant hand, and I'm getting ready to shoot him in the gut again. But it's just basically I'm maneuvering him to try to get a good shot in.
So like a disadvantageous position or something.
Exactly.
Okay.
So do you want me to do this on guns or athletics?
So
Probably.
if you do it on athletics, anyone can take advantage of the poor position.
Then I'm doing it on that.
Do I still get to defend against that? I think I do.
Yeah.
You've gotten it though, technically, because right, same as if you had landed a hit. So he now has a poor position, making him very unhappy. All right, Gabriel. How much mental stress do you have left?
I have my 3 bubble.
Your 3 bubbles. Okay. And you do what? Air, you do air?
I do air,
Water?
air, water, and earth.
Okay. So water, believe it or not, is kind of like disintegrating type effects.
You said air?
Water.
Water? Yeah.
Yeah, because water wears
Yeah.
down
That
everything.
erodes everything.
Yeah. I'm just telling you that in case you'd like to hit him with some magic.
What would that erode, though?
It'd be straight up, hey, here's like his flesh, literally. You're basically conjuring some sort of acidic water into his flesh.
Okay. Would that be more? Because
Not necessarily, no. I'm just trying to give you different ideas so you don't have to do everything with earth
that's true.
and air.
But I get a +1. I get offensive power.
That's true.
That helps me out.
But everyone's pretty close to him. Electricity, there's a small chance that there's going to be an oops anyway.
Yeah. Can I try to get the red quartz spit off of Jack?
Yes, you can hit him with some water to try to wash it off.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Because I'm smart enough to not touch it.
Yeah. So your conviction's 4.
Yes. So I roll conviction or just
It's still going to use up your 3 stress bubble, though.
yes. Am I rolling discipline?
Yes, you always roll the discipline to control what you summon.
So
All right, Dave, all that red quartz spit has been washed off of you. A nice purifying effect, and you kind of feel quite a bit better. Top of the 7th round. I don't know if things are going. I think things are going okay for you guys. We'll see. Jack, what have you got?
Can't say they're going bad.
What have I got?
Your bubbles are all filled up.
Yeah, but I haven't died yet, so that's
All right.
not going bad.
So see if this is a good idea or not. So Lavere just put the block on him, right?
Yep.
So if I can make a glamour that is all it's going to be is it's going to be literally Lavere doing what he's doing, but a half second later.
Okay. I think I get what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're shooting for an aspect of out of sync or something.
Something like that, yeah.
All right.
So he's not quite where he appears to be.
Yeah. All right, go for it.
All right. Let's throw some of that. Well, I mean, it's my best roll of the game so far.
I know, that's really quite sad, isn't it?
All right.
We're usually looking for a 3. You don't have any way.
Well, you have a lot of faith.
Oh, I could spend a point. I mean,
10.
I am a sneaky bastard.
You are.
There you go. That was a big point.
All right. So probably give it an effect of what, like displacement?
Yeah.
There, you are currently displaced, as far as it can tell, and you have a poor, and he has a poor position.
All right. So I guess I'll just jam a knife hand into his stomach.
Go for it.
There we go.
Oh,
I'll go ahead and use what was given to me.
yep. Use the poor position and displacement. Well, I can't say for the displacement. You can use my
Yeah.
poor.
All right. So that gets you to 11, and you're a weapon 2.
Mm-hmm.
My 5, armor 1. That is a total of 7 shock. Not shock. Game bleed.
Wrong game.
Stress.
It takes over everything, doesn't it?
It really does. So I'm going to take a minor consequence here. I think. What minor consequence? You did say something about his belly. You want him to be vulnerable?
Yeah, I was taking like a knife hand into the stomach. So I don't know what you could put on that other than.
Yeah. There's no like called shot or anything like that.
What? That's a different game.
Right. That's why I'm pointing it out. A called shot is basically a hey, he had an exposed belly. That's where I hit him. That's your called shot. Right. Now, if you were saying, hey, I was using the poor position instead of having a +2 to hit him in the belly, then that's kind of your called shot instead. But you have added stress, and that's not great for him. And he has technically now started on that spiral, which he does not like. And I think he is going to try to flee. So he is going to roll athletics to see how far he can go. What is it now? Inhuman speed, I think, gives him a little bit of a bonus on that.
Maybe, but some of us have inhuman speed too.
I know.
Gives him a +1 to his athletic.
That's for dodging.
No, that says all athletics is a +1. Dodging is a +1, and initiative's +4. But I will check to see what else it says.
Yeah, it says all your athletics are made at +1, including
But when sprinting,
when
the bonus
sprinting,
increases.
it goes to a +2.
That's what he is going to be doing.
But we can also sprint after him.
Yes. Ugh. So that's how far he's gone. I'm going to move him over here along with that.
Well, I mean, he's no longer in melee range.
No, he's not. And, I want to keep track of about where he is compared to all of you. So let's do this. We'll put this down.
He's
And-
currently in the same zone.
Oh, he's running away.
Yeah, but he's currently in the same zone, right?
Once he's run away, why? Unless
No,
you're
I'm just-
trying to compel this exposed belly to slow him down.
Well, I mean, I could. That was one thing. I was just wondering, the two you have there. Does that mean he's 2 zones away, or
That's the furthest he can get. Yes. 'Cause
okay? But he,
doing his sprinting.
because what I'm thinking of is in terms of how zones work. If he's 2 zones away, that's going to be a big minus to hit him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why, I'd be okay with you guys saying, no, that exposed belly is going to keep him from getting far.
Yeah, I would like to use the exposed belly if we can.
All right. So then we'll say he just kind of gets out of melee.
Okay.
That seems fair. What would Gus like to do?
I'm going to shoot.
Yep. Oh, by the way, this displacement just barely landed. I don't know that it's there anymore. Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, well, that'll land. You're 2 stress? Your gun?
Gun is 3 stress. But I'm going to go on and add another point because of his exposed belly. I'm just going to go in and use that tag again.
Okay. Is that to specifically hit the belly, or is that
Yes.
putting 2 on it?
No, that's to specifically hit the belly. And then I'm going to go on and use my last one because I'm a hero in training to add 2 to the damage.
Okay. So you're at an 8 plus 2 compared to my 6. You were targeting my belly, so I'm not going to get my armor there.
And it's weapon 3.
Weapon 3. Ugh. What is my? This is over there. So he can either take a moderate consequence and not go down,
Right.
where he can go down. I think at this point you guys have him. I don't think he's going to be able to escape. So I think I'm just going to let you take him out.
Okay.
Because I think it makes sense for what we're doing in terms of the story, right? He spins around, and as he does, you finally get that clear shot, and 3 into the belly, and he just begins. The blood is just gushing out, and he'll go ahead. He'll go down.
Okay.
All right.
So, Jack,
You all
can you get
survive.
us back? Oh, so Jack, can you get us back, or can you get us back out of here? Not using names.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Let me try and put up a veil.
That's what you did to get in here, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Why?
No reason.
Okay.
And I will try to inspire you to create the best veil possible.
Okay. So that gives me an additional +2, right?
Yes.
That would be a 3.
So you're all grouped up together.
You know what? I think I'm gonna make that 3 a 5.
You sure?
Yeah, because I'm a sneaky bastard. We're gonna be sneaky.
All right. Well, you are going to manage to get off the ship without an issue. That point. I believe this was Friday evening. You've gotten off the ship. I was waiting for like at least one more bad thing to happen so I could set the ship on fire, but you managed to avoid that as well.
I did. I'm not on fire.
Yeah.
And we tossed the guns into the mighty Mississippi.
Okay. You did go. Where were those? Those were in. That was in your service.
No. I had gotten guns for us
Let's try.
with my contacts.
You did. Okay. So yeah, strip them and parts and pieces here and there.
Yeah.
Obviously, or maybe I should say not so obviously. You realize you don't hear sirens coming as you're
Yeah.
heading out.
I had a feeling.
So I think you're okay. Did anyone even take any consequences from that?
Nope.
Nope.
We did our absolute best.
You took a lot of stress though,
I took
Yeah.
a lot.
and you
Yeah.
spent a lot of points.
We all spent a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, now what? You've survived the night. An encounter with red cord vampires that you were sent by Anya Scavis to take care of.
Yep.
One got away. Did you really fulfill the terms of the agreement if one of them got away?
The terms of the agreement were to send a message.
We sent a message.
Which means it's probably a good thing one got away.
Yeah, we sent a strong message.
That's fine.
Two out of 3 red cord vampires.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Sorry, I'm taking all my little notes now, and okay, I can get rid of this. I can get rid of that. So that's
And I will actually pay Miss Gavis a visit to make sure that she is satisfied.
okay.
But that'll
All
be
you going or
tomorrow.
just you?
I think I will go alone on that one.
Okay. Back to the casino.
Yes.
Couldn't think of the word. Okay.
Yes. Because basically because of my over-involved family, I would have to go back and make sure that I have met her conditions.
All right. So you go in to see her.
You know, with definitely enough time so it doesn't look odd that, oh, look, somebody's, Detective McManners is going in right after a hit on a ship. So,
Yeah, I don't know that most people would put 2 and 2 together on that.
which is good. Okay. Then, yes, I go visit her.
And honestly, if you think about it, And in fact, thinking about it, there's no connection. And even as a target itself, there's no logic.
Yeah.
That should in fact, now that you have a couple of moments to think about it, even before you've left the others, it might occur to you there is zero logic for what she had you do.
Oh, I know.
She stands absolutely nothing to gain by that.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, it already hit. That already hit me. So
I'm trying to think, what would be a I figure things out assessment type role?
Investigation.
Probably investigation. You are a detective. Would you like to roll investigation for me?
sure.
All right, that's pretty good. You know, do you have a thing? What does your investigation stunt do?
I can get to conclusions faster, and hold on. Let me pull up my character
Scene of a
sheet.
crime.
Yeah. +1 to investigating the scene of a crime and arrive at conclusion one step faster.
So I'm trying to figure out if that arrive at a conclusion one step faster is helpful here, because you are trying to arrive at a conclusion, right?
Yes.
Yeah, using it to look for clues, etc. That was a setup.
Oh yeah.
She gave you no information. She sent you in blind. She wanted you to die.
Oh yeah.
She was trying to send you to your death.
Huh.
Which is another reason why I'm going alone. I don't want everyone else. But,
Okay.
you know, I walk in to her establishment. If I suddenly die while I'm there, ooh, more questions. So,
Okay. Badge out or no?
badge out.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
clear people don't get in your way.
Yeah.
What's your demeanor when you're going to see her?
I'm putting on the good cop face.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in bad copying on her because she made a request of my aunt. So I'm just coming to tell her that we have met the agreement.
Kind of rub it in her face that, hey, I survived and we did what you asked.
Yes. And in fact, there's actually part of one of the skills that does that.
What's that?
I'm scanning through the skills for a second.
Okay. Oh, through the trappings.
Yeah.
I think there is specifically a good cop thing too, isn't there?
Yeah, but I'm basically, for me, it's naturally charming.
Are you naturally charming?
That's one of my stunts.
Oh, I don't know that one.
No. It's one I told you about that I created. It basically allows me to use my presence as rapport.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that's what you were calling it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good.
But hold on, I might want to change this. Oh no. Okay, it is going to have to go under intimidation, so it's the bad cop, because I'm basically throwing it back in her face. You know, I know this was a setup, but I still survived.
Okay.
So it's more of the intimidation, which is provocation.
All right. Oh, provocation now.
Yeah.
Okay. Even better. All right. So barging into her office then.
No. It's not. It still doesn't have to be that hardcore. It's more of the I'm
Subtle.
still here. Yeah. I mean,
Subtle
I'm here
intimidation.
to report.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's that.
As opposed to, I'm Harry Dresden, I just blew your doors off the hinges. Now let's have a conversation.
Right.
That's where I thought you were going. You're not. You're still going in. You're being polite because your shield is out, etc. All right.
Right.
So she kind of blinks a few times when you're there,
Mhm.
and then puts on this same smile, smirk that she's always got.
Yeah.
Detective, surprising to see you. You look rather well.
Yes, I take it that you might be surprised seeing me this quickly, but you did make a request of me, and I wanted to come and tell you that it has been fulfilled.
Well, then, in that case, I must confess you have exceeded my expectations. Your reputation is set.
Yeah, it is.
Very well. I suppose then I must consider the matter that was between us concluded, with no ill will.
With
Agreed.
no ill. Hmm?
Agreed.
Yes, agreed. No ill will. But again, it's still that, yeah, you know. And after that, I'll I'll go on back out.
Okay. Yeah, she looks a little unhappy about the whole situation.
Oh, yeah.
But look, you know the White Court.
Oh, yeah.
Can't do dick about it.
No,
Not at the moment.
no.
Made a play, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Question is why?
That's the important thing.
And you're not staying talking to her about any of that. You just kind of turn around and
Yeah.
screw her. Okay.
Yeah, if she wants me out of the way, there is a reason, but I have other ways of finding out that reason.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm curious as to see what those are.
Oh, well, I mean, you have contacts and things for a reason.
That's true. So it is late, right? It was a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, you guys have had a chance to get rid of all the stress.
Okay.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It means that I can do stuff now.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember. When did you guys pick up the wounded shoulder?
I got that when I was fighting Allegra on the balcony.
Yep, I picked it up when I kept her from dying.
All right, and I think moderate consequences, it says go away at the end of the following session. Let me double check. Let me double check. Consequences. What? You know, it's so hard using a real book when you've gotten used to PDFs. All right. Recovery. Of course, I went to the wrong section. Anyway, what are you all doing? While I am searching for this, what would you all like to do?
Actually, which PDF reader do you use?
Adobe.
Because see, I have no problem searching in Foxit.
So it's only this one that always it's this particular book that crashes it.
Gotcha.
I could probably look at one of the others, but you get used to it, you know?
Yeah. For Gus, go home, get a drink, go to bed.
Okay, it's been a busy night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as many busy.
I mean, clubbing would be a normal thing on a Friday night, but not tonight.
Tonight, gonna getting. All right. Well, that is probably the end of that session since we kind of ran a little over. So I will go ahead for the two of you and clear out those consequences that you guys had. It's okay.
Does this mark a milestone?
Yeah, that should probably be a minor milestone.
Okay.
So I am going to take some fate points for me. Whoops! I just gave everybody 4. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
No.
That's okay. We don't mind.
Dave should have gotten one.
Right. We don't mind, guys.
I'll steal those from you, Dave.
I don't mind.
Oh, that's weird. Did it take all of them? Yeah, it did.
Oh, yeah, I had to click let it go for each one.
Oh, that's all right. Well, that's not the right way to go. That's not the best way to do that. So Lavere can drop 3. Michael John, you can drop 3, and I think Gus's adjusted refresh is currently 2.
It is.
So you can go ahead and drop 2 since I over populated all of us. My bad.
No problem.
Excellent. All right. So that's not terrible. You guys have some points now.
Mm-hmm.
You've all gotten some rest Saturday morning. What are we going to do?
So this milestone means that I can swap 2 skills, right?
Yes, you can swap 2 things next to each other, or again, we can start talking about, are there any aspects which it's time to start tweaking? What do we think?
I think I'm happy with my aspects at the moment. I just need to fix my skill.
No, I don't think you do.
Because Jack got stealth forms, and he does a much better job than I could.
That's 100% correct.
I'm gonna move weapons up 1 because, well, I'm planning to get a sword.
Okay.
I am also going to move weapons up 1, but I will not be getting a sword.
So all you do is just uncheck that compact view.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You already switched them?
I already switched them.
Oh. Oh, your weapons was a 0.
My weapons.
Okay. He's saving up because, you know, he wants to save up his points and his skills because someone wants to go to warden school.
Yeah, someone does.
Okay, I am swapping.
Perfect sword.
What's that?
I am swapping a skill out.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I did the same.
What's changing? I'm curious.
I'm taking weapons down to 2 and bringing contacts up to 3.
That makes sense. Now, something that Robert's doing is he knows he's going to be using contacts soon, which is why that one's going up. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to stay up. Later on, you can switch them back.
Right.
Right? So there are ways to kind of. I don't want to. It's not gaming the system.
It is gaming the system.
It's preparing for the.
It's the system itself. Gaming
Yeah.
the system is I don't think that's what they meant for you to do.
Right.
But I don't think that's an issue at all.
Mm-mm.
All I'm doing is changing my focus for this case.
Yeah.
This case is, or this isn't really even a case. We're just having a big fight tomorrow night. We know we're going. I'm gonna move, my scholar.
I did some preparation.
Right. I'm gonna move my scholarship down 1 and my weapons up 1. That makes sense.
Yes. I spent the day preparing for that sort of thing. So to me, that's never an issue.
Which is exactly what I did.
What do you move?
Scholarship down 1, weapons up 1.
Okay.
You don't need to be smart. You just need to hit stuff.
Well, look, he grew up in the bayou and never went to school. He shouldn't have had scholarship to start with.
I figured I'd pick it up a little bit when I was getting that 1 point, but you're right, I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of streetwiseness going there. I thought maybe I'd be able to use it to add aspects to scenes, but
Use what?
to add aspects, wasn't that what you used to add a aspect to the scene?
There's nothing better that works. Yes. Only when there's nothing better will you use. Will you default to that?
But yeah, I went ahead and moved the weapons up. Now my hunger is still there until I take myself out.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. Do me a favor. You did use some powers there. Give me a discipline roll against a difficulty of 4. This would be prior to all of. All right. So, would you like to take 2 hunger stress?
Well, I have 1 slot left.
So you're gonna let that roll up to the 3 bubble.
So let's play this to boost the discipline up by 2 points for the control issues.
Okay.
So that should balance it out for now.
Yeah, and this is a point you had before I gave out the points.
Yes, because you gave it to all of us for that 1 vampire getting away.
Yep. Okay.
and I'm going to spend my Friday night, you know,
Sure.
snacking.
Remember, it only recovers when you're missing a scene.
Right.
So if it's, hey, I spend my Friday night, and while they're doing their investigation Saturday morning, I'm sleeping in,
That's pretty much what I was going to do.
and then that'll clear out the stress.
So yeah, I was going to party hard Friday night and
You feel like you in the morning.
and lose my phone for a little while in the morning.
Okay. Well, Saturday morning, what are you guys doing? Sleeping in, more of the investigation, getting together, breakfast at Waffle House.
Hey, breakfast at Waffle House.
Sure, breakfast at Waffle House.
I'm sorry, I just say it is a Waffle House. Breakfast at Waffle House is so good.
Anything at Waffle House is so good, but it's really only breakfast.
I mean, it's always breakfast at Waffle House.
They make a
Even at 2 in the
great
morning.
hamburger. They make a great hamburger.
Yeah,
Really?
but it's a breakfast hamburger.
Never had a burger there.
I've never had a burger there.
Oh, they are really good.
Hmm.
I always just
I mean-
the chicken sandwich
Yeah,
plate.
it's so greasy though.
Everything is.
It's actually not that greasy, but people say, oh, we'll go over to this high expensive hamburger place. And it's like, I'll just go over here.
Burger is a burger.
Burger is a burger.
That's it.
I don't need to pay more than $5 for a burger.
I'll be honest, when it comes to burgers, I even like McDonald's.
I can't stand McDonald's.
Get their burger with Mac sauce. I don't like the Big Mac itself.
Yeah.
A McDouble or a quarter pounder with Mac sauce.
Okay, the big thing is Crystal. If you can do Crystal,
If your stomach can do crystal,
That's it.
it doesn't matter how
What the
good it
boy
is.
said.
If you're genetically able to eat it, then yes.
It tastes great, but it's then like a week of suffering.
That does it taste.
It's so bad. Not as good, and they're not as good as White Castles, but that's neither here nor there. Dave is from the Northeast. He knows.
You got to remember the name of that restaurant in Atlanta that has a pretty good burger.
All right. So the three of you are at Waffle House. LeVere is ignoring you. You probably are getting used to this.
yes.
LeVere has a "don't call me before noon" policy. It seems.
Since you've only known me for a few days.
What happened the day before?
Especially if anything stressful happened the day before.
Yeah. So now what? What are you all doing now?
Well, I'm going to reach out to contacts,
Okay.
and I'm going to use the gathering information trapping of it.
Okay.
Actually, this might be better using the rumors trapping.
By the way, let's see. Do I have that?
No, it's going to be the gathering information.
Before you do that, do me a favor.
Yes.
And I want you to roll your presence.
My presence. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it involving the supernatural community?
Yes.
Okay, then I get a bonus on that.
And let's see. Ugh.
What?
I'm gonna give you spin when you go to roll the your rumor gathering.
Okay. Okay. So I'm reaching out to people that I know. You know, the shoot.
Actually, no. Hold on. Before I do that, I'm
Okay.
going to spend one of my points and tag hidden masters, and I'm going to re-roll that -3 I just rolled.
Okay.
Am I going to do it? The odds of me hitting that 7. No, I won't.
Okay.
Damn it. I mean, good for you.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the cops, the name of the little society that knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah. The NOPD, it's in if you go look at the faces, the other NPCs, is the
Okay.
NOPD Social Club.
The NOPD Social Club. Yeah, I have a feeling that the people in that the minor practitioners and stuff are people we've probably talked to, and so that's what I'm doing for gathering information. Just what people may have been hearing about Anna Scavis. I'm
Okay.
not specifically saying why she might be out for me, but just more what have you heard about her on the street recently?
Okay. Now, if I could recall real quick, Sibylla Beaufort, she was the one who worked at the
The morgue.
yeah. I just want to keep track of that because otherwise it'd say, oh yeah, and it wouldn't. I don't know that it would make sense that you'd be talking to her on this. Go ahead, give me your. Don't forget your +1 for spin.
Okay. Oh shoot. Character sheet. And let's see.
That with your spin? Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that using your weight of reputation?
No, it did not. So that would be a +1.
Okay.
But I'm actually just deciding which aspect I want to tag.
All right. Let me real quick. So currently we're tied.
Okay.
Right? Because someone out there is definitely going to be opposing your gathering information.
Oh yeah. And okay. I'm actually going to tag my trouble because there is tragedy in this. So other people's tragedy finds me.
Only makes sense to me.
And because I'm pretty sure this involves the hidden masters, I'm going to tag that as well.
Okay. So that's going to give you a differential of 4 points.
Yes.
Okay. And
yes, I know I burned through all my fate, but I know I burned through all my fate, so go on and compel me.
I will. I'm working on that. So you're not trying to guess an aspect about Anya. I don't think you're trying to do an assessment. You're literally a kind of a what is she up to?
Yeah.
Okay. So the folks you talk to, there are some theories that Anya Skavis had some long-term plans for city control. She had her hooks in a whole lot of people prior to Katrina. And all the devastation and the destruction actually hurt her plans. She's it's said that she's been looking for vengeance. And in fact, I will even add that as an aspect on her sheet.
Okay. Then I may go back and visit her at some point, but not right this second.
Now, do you remember the free tags? They eventually do wear out, right?
Yes. Oh, when I say not right now,
I know.
I don't mean like 3 weeks from now, but
yeah. All right.
okay. While everyone else does something, I'm gonna go find out why my dog's barking.
Okay. So he's making some calls, probably before or after breakfast, not while the wizard's at breakfast. What is it the two of you are doing?
What were even our other leads? What did we have?
So, I guess we can go back to what you had found for the investigation of her notes.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Like the only other thing I could think of was her notes.
So she had surmised that magic had summoned Katrina to New Orleans. Gabe thinks, I don't know, the White Council should have noticed, but some of that you've already worked through, and I think you still feel something there doesn't add up. She believes there was entropy magic involved. Entropy magic. I think did you roll about entropy magic, Michael John?
I'm pretty sure.
Right? You know that it's basically kind of the signature of the Fomor. Incidentally, the Fomor came to New Orleans for the first time following the storm, not before. And then finally, she had a theory that power was somehow drawn from the Never Never, which has, I think you said, bothered you a little bit.
A little bit.
And you guys were trying to figure out okay, what can we do to learn some stuff about the Never Never? You were even talking about, hey, maybe we should talk to Ralph.
We should talk to Ralph.
Okay, let's talk to. Who's Ralph?
It's Ralph. Wait, you don't know who Ralph?
Ralph. No,
He
I
might
don't
not know who Ralph is.
Gabriel will tell Jack who Ralph is.
I know Ralph the dog.
He is the world walking doorman.
Ah,
He's a pretty cool guy.
okay.
So, all right. So, heading over to the Hotel Monteleone. Yes.
Yep.
Looks like it. Is Gus coming too?
I think Gus is
Or Gus is
right
busy
now working on his contacts.
contacts. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I just sent those two things so that you guys can see Ralph and the hotel. So you're basically at the hotel. You know, Ralph sees you. Believe it or not, as you're coming up, he does not automatically open the door.
I'll knock.
No. He's standing outside it. Like a doorman sees you coming. He doesn't
Right.
go open the door for you. He's standing outside the door, sees you coming, does not open the door.
Well, yeah.
But he does nod very politely.
So I actually came here to talk to you.
Good morning, Mr. Wizard.
Yes. So there's
Wizard.
definitely some strange things happening.
I've heard a few things.
What have you heard?
A few things. What have you heard?
All right, I'm going to need you both to be a little more specific.
Perhaps Mr. Wizard would like to introduce you.
This is Jack.
Jack. Everyone calls me Ralph. What can I do for you, Jack?
Well, I'm here with Mr. Wizard. We
Well.
have some questions about never energy. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
you definitely did. I didn't think you were coming here to go anywhere.
I am not.
I know.
Which is why he didn't open the door.
He smiles when you say that, which should tell you something about him as well.
Yeah.
Well, what can I do for you?
So you know the Never Never a lot more than, or a lot better than I do, personally.
Thank you. That is a compliment.
What would someone need to do to pull enough power from the Never Never to create, like, let's say, Hurricane Katrina, hypothetically?
That's a very, very specific hypothetical question.
Of course. Well, it's hypothetical, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Slightly
that
subtle.
at this point. This is the second time I've been asked that question in the last few months.
Oh, who asked that the first time?
Probably what's her face. Let me go look at the things I can say it.
Allegra Landry.
Probably, but I'm asking him
Well, or not Gus.
because what if it's not?
A young lady, and he actually describes Allegra's daughter.
Ah,
However, what's Allegra?
yeah.
Tree shapeshifter. So it was Allegra.
Probably Allegra.
Well, how old did she look? Was she? Because I remember at the ball.
He describes her the way she looked at the ball.
There we go. Okay.
That might be one of her go-to disguises.
Apparently,
So was Allegra at the ball?
yes.
Yeah. Robert compelled her to be there, right? With his prophecy. Although, technically, bad things are done to her, so it gets messy. But it's all up here.
Yeah.
As long as I don't get hit by a truck, you guys will find out one day.
That would suck. First you'd get hit by the
I
truck and
agree.
I would never know.
Yes, well, thank you for at least
All right.
putting those in order. So,
Rod, you're not allowed to drive for the rest of the summer.
so.
You gotta figure out what's happening.
Yeah, the last time I got hit by a truck was last year, and my neck is still screwed up.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, my sternum.
Maximum medical improvement, they said. Like, that sucks. It still hurts.
So
Always will.
continue on that question.
Yes.
What was your answer?
At the time, I said gateways would have to have been open, had to have remained open. It would have been, if gateways were open, they were not open here.
They
Where
could have
you
been open
them
far,
to?
though, could they?
Or not? When he says here, does he mean New Orleans or does he
No,
mean
he
hotel?
gestures towards the hotel.
Right. If they weren't open here, which of course they weren't because you're here, where do you think the best spot for them to have been opened would be? Or the most powerful places for them to be open for this to occur?
There are. You do know that New Orleans has gates and portals all over the place.
Yes.
Very varied, and some of them move from time to time.
Give me the top 3 strongest.
Well, he kind of looks back.
Right. But I wasn't here.
Old Man Oak,
Okay.
and of course, Conductor. However,
The conductor wouldn't have let that happen.
no, he would not. The Conductor is, well,
Well, he's the conductor.
I
He
would
is.
assume Old Man Oak wouldn't either.
Old Man Oak, well, I don't think he did it. May have let someone else do it. He's Fey after all.
he is. I've long thought that there might be another place. I have not I am not sure where it is. I don't leave the hotel often enough. But there's something dark out there in the city. A well of darkness, so to speak.
Yeah, and the French Quarter, maybe.
That seems likely. I suspect that this well may have been where energy could have moved from one side to the other.
And you don't have any. Don't really have any directions.
I mean, I don't automatically sense it if that's what you're
Well,
asking.
Can you point us in any direction other than the French Quarter? Anything to look out for?
I don't know that I can.
Hmm.
I understand that's not as helpful as you'd like. Now, technically, this hotel is in the French Quarter.
Well, yeah.
So could you walk around the French Quarter and go looking?
Unfortunately,
Not Ralph.
No, yeah,
oh,
Gabe. With
Wait.
your wizard thing?
No, that would kill me.
Oh.
it would be more likely to drive you mad if it didn't kill you.
Right. Both of those are very bad, and I would like neither of them.
At this point,
we
you
don't-
open the door.
Hmm?
Will you be going anywhere?
I will not.
You'll be back.
You think so?
Well, you can't use your wizardly abilities to find this well. Hence, there's only one other way to find it.
Jack, we're gonna go on an adventure. We're gonna go on
Okay.
a 12-minute adventure. Yeah.
Why is it 12-minute adventure? We don't stop at 9.
I know, but oh my gosh.
We
Come on, Jack.
stop at 9.
As long as it's not a 3-hour tour.
It starts as one.
Only be a 3-hour tour.
It'll start as a 3-hour tour and then go from there.
I don't think he gets that 3-hour tour. The rest of us do. So,
Not old
you know, Gilligan's Island, the song starts with they booked the boat for a 3-hour tour and end up shipwrecked on an island forever.
That's fun.
It is.
I really hope it's not a 3-hour.
So, if somebody had opened one of these doors, like one of the big powerful ones, like you say, what would it take to draw that much energy from it?
That is a question for Mr. Wizard.
Okay, Mr. Wizard?
I don't. I think that's the question you're trying to figure out.
Right. I mean, I can roll lore, I guess, but
I don't think you need to roll lore.
Because I'm asking I'm
That's it. I think this is still what you're trying to figure out.
Right, there's
And
not
I don't know
really
that there's enough.
roll for this.
Yeah. Now, you can always try to find people who know. But the people who tend to know that sort of stuff aren't always nice.
Hello, people.
Night, Cass.
Oh,
You know all of them.
I forget.
Yeah, okay.
You have a lot of friends. I forget.
Yeah, I could summon a demon and be like, hey, I need help.
Totally could.
Summon one.
You've heard of one who is actually, he's an information broker. He goes by Chauncey, but his actual true name is Chonzagarath.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm that desperate
Okay.
yet. So let's go to the Never Never Die instead.
Okay. The other things you had talked about in terms of leads, you had a conversation with Lindsay Hart. afterwards, right? He said Occam's razor. He had said that the water from the hurricane could have washed some of the stuff away. And he had also mentioned that there are Bokor in the city.
Bokor being
Bokor are voodoo practitioners who practice white and black magic.
right. They're trickers. But we can't just go and kill them because well, there's a lot of them.
Well, not just that, but they all follow the Baron.
Right, and the Baron's basically a demi-power.
Right,
It's not
and
a
do you
full
really?
power.
The White Council does not have enough proof for the Bokor to do anything about them. If they
Yeah,
did,
I mean, they're also humans.
what?
They're also humans.
Oh yes,
I,
yes.
mean,
Oh
I
no,
guess you could always use a sword, but
the White Council totally considers them to be, viable, valid targets. Which is probably why they tend to stay around here, where perhaps the Baron can protect them.
Jack, we're gonna go on a little side mission, and we're gonna go find some stuff.
okay.
Hey, let's let's start by looking in the hotel.
Sorry, what?
Let's start by looking in the hotel.
Start by looking in the hotel. Okay.
And that was the last we ever heard of Jack.
Right. I'm assuming that Jack doesn't say no. I don't want to go to the hotel.
No, I'll go to the hotel.
I'm thinking that Jack doesn't realize what it means to go in the hotel.
I'm sure he does. All right, so
Dave
There.
might, but I don't know if Jack does.
Dave does.
Yeah.
Jax, there were some not so subtle hints dropped in that conversation, though. And Jack is good at empathy.
yeah, that one. So he'll tell you that you want room 1462.
Okay. Let's get going.
All right. Do we need a key or?
Oh yes. So you'll want to speak to Miss Antoinette.
Okay.
And there's a woman at the front desk. You guys helped make her, but I don't know. I've not found a good image for her yet.
Okay.
So I don't happen to have one.
Do you have an idea in your head about what she might look like?
I really don't.
Okay.
I'm pretty open if you guys are like, ooh, I got this. I like this. I'll take it.
Give me a moment.
So you're going to be checking in,
Yeah.
I guess. How are your resources?
How are my resources? Actually, pretty good. I think I have a 3. Yeah, my resources are good.
Why don't you give me a resources roll?
I got a +2.
That's probably enough for checking into a hotel for one night.
And I'll go to that room. And
She goes, I don't believe we've been formally introduced. Mr. I believe it's Kashali? Well, of course, Mr. Kashali. What room 1462 is, well, if Ralph has sent you in, obviously you know why you're going to room 1462.
yes.
If you like an escort.
But feel free to say it anyway.
It is the most reputedly haunted room in the hotel. By reputation. It's not actually.
Right.
Of course it is.
Of course. Ghosts don't exist.
Well, of course they do. You actually know ghosts exist.
I know ghosts exist. Ghosts.
I mean, ghosts exist.
I'm sorry, you're Mr. She looks at you.
Me?
Yes,
Jackson. You can call me Jack.
Jack. Mr. Jackson. Yes, The hotel's not technically. There are many ghosts here. I assure you, they are real.
Right, because she doesn't do this.
So what? When people die, they become ghosts.
Not exactly.
Okay.
People sometimes leave a very strong impression on the world around them. A ghost is the impression that those people have left behind. So imagine if all of your life experience and memories were to leave a very strong impression on a place. That would be a ghost. It's not truly your soul. It's the shadow of your memories.
So dead people are still dead.
Dead people are still dead.
Except the vampire ones, I guess.
The Black Court, yes, yes. And we do have many ghosts here. I mean, we've been almost collecting them lately.
Lately.
Yes, the hotel has always had a large number of spirits. But over the past few years, it seems that more have been, well, residing here. Ones which formerly had no connection. Don't worry, we keep them in line.
Do you know where they came from? I mean, I would assume. Trina.
Know that, and she kind of looks the other way. That's not important. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can tell. She actually looks a little distracted now, and she keeps, even though she's talking to the two of you, like right here, she keeps kind of looking over there periodically.
I will kind of just hold up my finger like that. I assume that you were talking to whomever that was.
Yes, but she has not noticed you yet.
Should I be worried if she does?
No, she's fresh. She came in with you.
She came in with me.
Yes. I'd really prefer her to leave. We don't typically take homeless types in.
What do you mean?
Well, we are a fine hotel. Typically, when there are homeless people, we have to rouse them out. It's the same with their ghosts. They have a different sort of energy. But don't worry, I'll take care of her later.
Wait a minute. Homeless people?
Yeah.
That's been following Gabe around.
Well, not just Gabe. You were there too.
Well, I don't know. Which one of us has she been following?
Could
Came in
be
with
both.
both.
They have some significance. I can't look at that. Let me see if I
Go
can.
ahead. You can tell them. Oh, you found us an image. Go ahead, Dave. Dan. You can tell them what you're thinking.
The body that you found that was actually glamored to look like Allegra.
Yeah.
That was a homeless
That's what I was
woman.
Can you talk to her?
Yes, that's what I've been doing, but I told her that she has to leave.
Can you see if there's anything she wants to say to us?
The young man wants to know if you have anything you want to tell them.
You know who may
Like what? What sort of thing should she tell you?
Did you all just get kicked out of Roll20?
No.
Oh, because my screen's gotten down to just my name on Roll20.
That's weird. I am the only one in
Oh.
Roll20 right now.
That is, yeah, that is.
Oh, mine's down to just me.
I will refresh.
Everything.
I refreshed and it was still just me. Now I'm trying to get back in.
Oh no.
There they go. There you guys
Todd's
come.
back.
That was weird.
He's got
That was weird.
in limbo.
She has something to say, and you guys aren't listening to her.
So because of that, she kicked you out.
Apparently, Green made him really mad.
Like, how did she die? Where did she die? Who killed her? What else? What did they want?
You can hear what he's saying. Yes, pay attention. Listen. Yes, she was murdered. Yes.
It's usually how it is.
It was sudden. Two men. They had covered their faces. Oh, and there was a woman who was watching what they were doing. She thinks it's weird that, and she's not sure why, but she said she looked like the woman who killed her or who was watching.
She looked like the one who was watching. Yes.
Yes. You understand? Yes, be patient.
I understand something.
Eureka!
Yes, I do.
That's fine.
And did these masked men use magic?
No. Well, she describes one of them as chanting something, and that kind of held her. She felt stuck.
So we have 2 people we gotta do.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
Were they at all like? And I'll describe what we fought on the top of the casino.
No. One of them. No, they didn't look like that at all. At all. Let's see.
Okay.
I'm looking for. Sorry, I wasn't ready for this, and I'm the one who started it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what type of clothing. You know what? Give me a lore roll.
Me?
Or him. You're both there.
Why don't you do it?
Yeah. Why don't you do it?
Yeah.
No +1.
No +1.
By the way, you do probably feel a little bit cold and tingly as this conversation's going on, so you're picking up her presence a little bit.
You know, could I spend a point for rooting out people?
I don't think you need to. You have a great result.
Okay.
Basically, I don't know what type of clothing Bokor would wear.
Okay. Witch hunt time. I mean, no, of course not. That's not.
So I'm looking for but everything I'm searched for, none of it's coming up with. Here's a picture of a Bokor.
All right.
Like the last one I got is bringing up apparently a bike.
Okay. But she describes something that with his lore he recognizes that sounds like Bokor clothing.
Yeah, that's
Baron Samedi is many times just depicted as being in a nice suit or even a tuxedo.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I guess there might be. Yeah, the dress sounds like it might be imitative of that. Except that it may have been a nice suit once, but it was kind of threadbare.
Okay.
But yeah, these would probably be his followers.
Well, there's a great image from an old Bond movie.
Yeah, you want to find me a link for it?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
So it's making me request access for what you sent.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
It's fine.
I'll download them and then just put them up in
Discord.
Yeah, because they're in my Google Drive, and I haven't connected Google Drive to this computer yet.
Ah. Okay, no worries.
So Jack, have you asked her where she died at?
Oh yeah, that was one of the questions I wanted to know. Where did she die?
Outside the Lalaurie mansion.
Uh-huh.
I believe you guys are pretty well aware of that site.
The Lalaurie Mansion. Which one was that? Is that one of the ones we've been to?
That one?
Is that the one where what's his face lives?
You talking about Jermaine?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It doesn't look like it.
No, I think he was elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
Fairly certain he was elsewhere.
So, and
Yeah, he was.
He
Royal
1039 Royal Street. He's here, Dave.
oh, 1039 Royal. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, you can see. Obviously, there's some. It looks not completely different, but that's because
Yeah, it's the same style balcony. They're both shot from the corner angle.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah, we can use that. I'm happy to use that for a bow car.
Yeah, I was going to send one other one that's just kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll use that. All right.
And there was a second one just because it was fun.
And I did say two of them, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now what? That was the second one, a cosplayer.
Does,
Yeah.
Would she remember if her body had been moved after she was killed?
Not usually, Mr. Jackson.
What?
A ghost's memories, I'll be honest, I'm surprised that she's remembered as much as she had. Especially since she wasn't, well, very often the folks who live on the street aren't going to have a very good, they don't have as much of a presence as you'd expect. She's here, but well, it's a matter of time before she's a Lemure. She's not going to.
What?
Or she's a what?
A Lemure.
Do I know what that is?
What is that?
Your lore, you
The
might.
things with the stripy tails?
Not a lemur. Kind of. Ghosts, lemurs are, they're ghosts they eventually succumb to, actually, would it be a lemur or the other kind? Hold on. Let me double check. No, sorry, she'll be a wraith. Which.
Oh, those do not have stripy tails.
Same question. Wraiths they're ghosts that have lost most of their sense of self. They will target the living, especially those people of power. They can't kill the living, but they can drive them mad.
Well, that's definitely bad.
Yes, that is why if the spirit of someone who's homeless comes in here, we drive them out. We don't want them to hit. I'm not willing to have race around.
Does she remember what she was doing just before she was killed?
No, she was homeless. From what she's saying, I guess maybe sleeping, but yeah, Dan is telling you guys to ask a question.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, he is?
She writes it down on paper
Yeah, that would
and
be a good
passes
question.
it to you. Her name, she writes down the name Lindy. Try to avoid using her name. If she was homeless, there's a chance that just everyone knew her by that name. And the more you use it, the more likely you are to keep her bound here. And that could have negative repercussions on her.
Okay. Well, should we go check out the Lollery, or we need to go to the room?
So you have the room through this evening. Checkout is tomorrow by 11 a.m.
Okay.
Oh, and she actually doesn't give you a key card. She gives you a key.
Right. Because why would that?
I have your word. I will get this back.
You will get this back.
I have your word.
You got my.
Now you do know giving your word means if you don't give it back, it's basically I get a free compel on you.
Yeah, it's terrible.
No, it's great.
Oh, it's terrible for me. I'm gonna give him the key back.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to keep the key. It's not time.
No, there really isn't. It does mean if it's lost though, then you probably will do the whole, hey, let me replace those locks for you. Right. You've basically accepted responsibility for this key.
Yeah.
So I imagine this is one of those old, like, warded lock style keys.
This one is, yeah. Because we have key cards, but, well.
He'd break them, I know.
You break them, they just simply stop working. It's different.
Is it though?
No, these are for the, I like that first one, I think, better. Because I've been thinking of her as a little bit older. The second one looks a little too young. What do you think, Robert?
Oh yeah, I mean, no, I didn't know which way you were leaning, so that's why I sent both of them.
Yeah. I like the first one. If we could age her up a bit, she'd be perfect.
Okay. I will see
but
about
if
that.
we don't have anything that kind of ages her up that way, then yeah. The other one could have worked as white court, to be honest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, with hair that obviously dyed black.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so what are you guys gonna do? You've had plenty of time, Dan, to sleep in.
Okay.
While they've been doing this stuff.
I'll check my phone. Do I have any messages?
Did either of you guys leave him a message? I know you didn't.
I don't really do that.
I know you didn't. Did Jack or Gus leave LeVere a message?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Jack left you a message. Would you like to give him a call, see what's going on?
Yeah, not that he's going to get it.
Right.
No, he might.
All right, I'll give him a call up.
Yep. So your ringtone all of a sudden begins playing and kind of does some sort of weird stuttering thing before your phone just shuts off.
What does your voicemail say? Because I'm sure that's what I just went to.
We're going to talk to Ralph. I don't know who that is, but it's apparently at the whatever the name of it was.
No, I meant what does your greeting for your voicemail say?
Oh, this- hey, this is Jack. Leave a message.
And the one you said to me was you're going to see Ralph.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, my friend. Sorry, I slept in. Had a long night. So I guess Ralph, who. Well, did you call me back?
Phone tag due to the wizard. You
As-
can probably reach Gus though.
Yeah, I'll give Gus a call since apparently Jack's not
Oh,
answering the phone.
Okay.
Yes. I like that one. Looks very
Corporate too.
yeah, like proper.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ring up Gus.
Lavere.
Bonjour, my friend. I tried to reach Jack, but he not answer. Everything all right?
Everything's fine with me. We can check at the bookstore, or well,
Bookstore?
Gabe's shop.
Yeah, the message he let me say something about Ralph. I don't know no Ralph.
I think I would know Ralph.
You
So,
would know Ralph.
meet me at the Monteleone Hotel.
Oui, I'll be there shortly.
And that's, I mean, the hotel itself is, it's in the quarter,
Yeah.
right? So, in fact, if I were to move you here, I'd have to zoom way, way in. I'm wondering if I should give you guys a map a little bit more zoomed in on the quarter, so that you have a little bit of an easier way to see all those pins.
Yeah, it might be a good idea if we spend a lot of time there.
You do seem to. If I do that, I can possibly give you a better.
Well, do you have the link to the maps again?
I do. Would you like to see that? Would you like that instead?
Yeah. Or in addition to maybe, but
All right. Let me see if that works. Nope. I thought I copied the link. I did not. Copy link. And this is anyone can view. There you go. There's the link.
All right, and I actually
Don't think I'm able to share that to Twitch though, right?
No, but I can because it lets me switch it straight from the
Oh, no, it did
Roll20.
let me.
It let me change it from the Roll20 page to zoom into it.
Okay. It also let me put the link into your Twitch too.
No, it didn't.
No, it shows it to me.
Yeah, it gives me the bunch of stars, but I can take care of that if you want me to share it.
Fair
So I'll
Well,
copy.
in case there's anybody else who's like, oh wow, these guys actually did some work on this, because we did. We spent a lot of time talking about it.
So I will paste the link so people can actually get a good look at what you've done. There we go. All right, so let me go back to where we were at. There we go. So we are going to
the Monteleone Hotel.
haunted sites, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is. It is going to be just kind of a little bit to the right of the streetcar, and it's actually that kind of, what color would you call that? That bluish. It's the only one that says never, never. The only never.
Okay. So
Yeah, zoom in. Keep going. Do you see? That's the one. That's the Hotel Monteleone.
Yeah.
It's on the edge of the quarter, but it's still in there.
Yeah. It's everything's in the quarter is within walking distance, so I'll just walk over there.
Yeah.
well, we'll see. I'll see if make my way out.
All right.
Probably shut and lock the door behind me if they're awake.
Yeah. So you guys head over there. In the meantime, are you two going up to the room or going somewhere else?
Well, Gabe's gonna go up in the room.
Okay.
I didn't hear that. What was it?
Gabe's going up to the room. I assume Jack would do the same.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't want to.
So, do
Jack
you
will go
want to take a quick right now, or you want to wait a little while
Yeah,
longer?
we can. I could use a bathroom break.
I could too, so that's why I was asking. I was being selfish.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back so that everybody can go do bathroom breaks, snack breaks, drink breaks, or what have you. We'll be back in about, say, 10 or 5. We'll say
Yes.
5. See you in about 5 minutes, give or take. Don't go far. And we're back. We left off with two gentlemen entering the, what was it, the Hotel Monteleone, and two others trying to meet up there.
Yep. Um. So, what would you all like to do? You guys are going there to meet them.
Yes.
You're going up to the hotel room.
I mean, do we get let in the moment we get there or anything along those lines?
Well,
Okay.
go up and talk to Ralph.
Okay.
Ralph,
He opens the door as you approach.
has Gabe, the White Council person, been here?
1462.
Thank you. And yes, I walk in and I actually will stop for a moment and say, Levere, Ralph Levere.
We're not going to have any trouble with you, Mr. Levere, are we?
What kind of trouble we be having?
Just say no.
I mean, this is a hotel, is he not?
Tight.
But no,
Okay.
I had something to eat last night. Matter of fact, I just woke up from, I guess, having dinner, I suppose is the best way to
I
put it.
just want to make sure you understand you are a guest in our hotel.
May I am not hungry, and I don't plan on eating here in your establishment. It's a place to sleep, or whatever. I mean, why did
And
you
you know,
come talk to him?
actually subtly moved a little bit in front of the door after Gus went in to say that to you. He'll move out of the way.
So, Gus, my friend,
Whole time.
Yes.
why'd they come talk to the doorman?
I'll explain as we go up to the room.
Why? Okay, I will follow you, my friend. I trust you know what we be doing here. But I have a place, and Gabe's got a home. I don't know why we come to a hotel room.
Well, let's get into the elevator.
May I follow. I had not stopped while we talk.
It opens. Right as it opens, Gabe and Jack come out the stairs.
Because
You're a wizard. You don't
Yeah.
take elevators. Do you?
no.
No. Would
So,
Jack
they
would
took a
Jack
lot.
get the elevator with him?
Fortunately, the amount of time it took them to do the stairs gave you plenty of time to walk here.
And in the elevator, I just give Levere a quick rundown that this place connects to a lot of different mystical worlds.
I take your word for it.
Yes, I think you're about to see it in action.
If you say so, my friend. We find out together. Oh, Gabe, Jack. What you? Never mind. Almost forgot. About to ask you why you not use the elevator.
I just point at Gabe.
But yeah,
This elevator is old enough you might be able to, but probably best not to try it out.
Best not to tempt it, right?
so lead the way.
So yeah, you have a key for your room.
Let's use the key and we'll go inside.
All right. So the room itself, when you go in, it feels to you more than anyone else. First, obviously the AC's been on and running in here for a while, but it probably to you specifically feels unnaturally cold.
So there are definitely a lot of ghosts.
There are almost certainly spirits here.
Ooh.
One or more.
I like my AC just like anybody else, but this is a bit much.
You guys may not sense it. It might just feel chilly, like cold. He'll, because of his ever-present third eye and the sight,
Yeah.
he'll feel it much, more pronouncedly than all of you.
Yeah.
Sleeping here might not be advised.
Well, I'm simply not going to sleep here. In fact,
So this is air conditioning for wizards.
This is true.
He's not going to break it.
Well, now you know how to get your place AC'd. Just invite a bunch of dead people to walk around in it for a while.
Bad idea.
To get to the Never Never through here, it's just. I guess we open up doors until we figure out which one, right?
No.
Or is it just, hey, I'm
The
going.
veil is thin here.
Well, yeah.
So basically, you would use thaumaturgy to open a way.
Okay.
What's your lore?
5.
That's probably enough here.
So I just roll ward.
You basically, how quickly or slowly do you want to open this gateway? Is it a, you know what, I'm going to take a minute and do it right? Or is it just a, screw this, rip, we go?
No, I'll take a minute to do it right.
All right.
Jack, why did y'all come here? While Gabe is chanting.
Well, we came to talk to Ralph about how someone would get energy from the Never Never.
And why this particular room?
Just don't look like no
Gabe?
sweet.
Huh? Well, Gabe's chanting.
You might talk about this before he opens the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Gabe, why this room?
No, this is the room he told me to go to.
I mean, well, was there a specific question that led to this room?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that, my friend?
We wanted to find where the other
Where the
portal is,
siphon from the Never Never.
the one that would have been used.
Okay. I guess the assumption is that that area may still be damaged in some way.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't think
So we're going in search of this other portal.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I must say, this is a weird way to look for something. I need to find something. Just go up to the hotel room. You'll find it there.
Yep.
I mean, look, everything in this last week or so has been weird.
Yeah. Must agree
Yeah.
with you, my friend.
Has it been a week?
Half a week.
Less than a week, Dave.
Less than a week.
Crazy. Yeah, it started.
Feels longer.
Tuesday.
Feels like it's been almost even a couple months.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, Gabe. Open the door.
You said I could take
Just
a minute.
came through the door.
You are free to open the way.
I will do that.
All right, I'm going to move you to. This is obviously not what you look like, and it's not going to look all wintry there. However, this is a nice image of Harry Dresden as he's passing into Never Never, and I like it. And I can't find anything better.
He's doing it in a movie theater.
Yeah.
You remember that book, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Well, it's wintry, so
It
we
is
know where he's
wintry.
going.
Yes.
Yes.
I do remember him being in the wintry place.
Yes, this is when he was going to Arctis Tour.
Yeah.
Was that White Knight?
No. A Brave Peril either. Crap. Now you. I always struggle.
Sorry, I didn't mean to start something.
You
Now
got him looking
Proven
for it.
guilty. That's it.
What?
Proven guilty.
Proven guilty.
I
Oh,
believe that was it, right? Yeah. Somebody else was guilty of breaking the laws of magic.
right.
And as a warden, he was tasked to find the lawbreaker.
That has been a long time since I've read that one.
Worked out. It was a little unexpected, I think, for most readers, but it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those twists that had a very long-term impact on the series, and it was fantastic. All right, I will leave it at that. These people out there haven't read it, you should read it. All right. So, what is your style of opening the Never Never? How do you envision the way you do this?
What's his face? Doctor Strange when he opens up a portal. Because that looks cool.
Okay. So you're doing more, almost not quite the sling ring thing.
No, but
but lots of hand gestures, and it's slowly kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
I think I've seen that movie.
Does it come with the accompanying light show and sparks and stuff?
Yes. Because, well, it's the Never Never.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That means I really need to find like a better kind of. Oh, I think I can. There are things. I will come up with something better than what we have right here. All right.
I think there's some concept art out there that's you could probably find.
Oh, yes. There's a lot.
I remember seeing it somewhere on the net. A concept art of
there's
Strange opening up something on a stage.
Yep. As long as you just have to find something that definitely doesn't look super much like, oh, that's obviously Doctor Strange. I want to capture the portal in the city more than the guy.
Well, I mean, the Dresden behind you, literally just different coloring, looks like what Strange does when he activates his defenses.
All right. So we may end up with a totally different picture than what's right here. We'll see.
Yeah, this works.
See, I'm uploading it, and I'm going to get your guys' opinions. All right, so you've kind of gone through.
I definitely got through.
Do we like this better?
I like that.
We'll kind of bring it down a little, and you can kind of see the city too.
Yeah.
You know. All right, I will get rid of the movie theater shortly.
No, that's fine.
No. It's me. I have to. All right. So, in you go through the Never Never. And
I think we're behind the picture.
oh, are you? Yeah, you probably are. I'll have that fixed shortly. There, sent it to the map. All right, so that works for me. That's good enough. Definitely good enough. All right. So he opens up this gateway to the Never Never, and on the other side, it looks very similar to this hotel room, but probably much dustier.
Think I've seen that TV show too. No, actually, it's way too early for that show.
I mean,
Upside down world.
Doctor Strange.
You know, actually, yeah. I mean, but this looks so. This room looks more like 1930s in terms of the furnishings and stuff like that.
This is a time portal?
No, we don't do that.
That was funny.
We don't.
I agree with you.
That's illegal, and I'll get my head chopped off. And I like my head.
So I assume you go through. You're not trying to put extra power in to keep this portal open.
No, we'll just open one when we need to get out.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
I'm sure it will be fine.
Famous last words.
Is that an aspect?
So now what's weird is the window. Looking out the window, you don't really see anything other than just this kind of gray, cloudy, vapory mist.
Right, because it's terrible in the French Quarter. or it's been stained?
No, probably because places in the Never Never don't exactly correspond to places on Earth. They might be, but there's usually a little bit more of a symbolic.
So what does this place be?
This place is a crossroads.
Yep.
The hotel.
Yep.
I meant through there, through the opening he just made.
The one that just closed up behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're just technically still in a hotel.
No, you're in the Never. It sounded like you all went through to the Never Never.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we're on the Never Never side of the hotel, at least this area.
Yes.
I mean, I let Gabe or Gus go first, but
So
That sounds like a good idea. I do the same.
probably what I should ask.
Huh?
You know, to the thing where, you know, the huge black beacon is in the
Okay.
sky.
So exiting the room into the hotel.
Yeah.
So it's weird. You don't see really anyone, but you hear like the hustle and bustle that you'd expect from a busy hotel in the 1930s. The elevator at the other end is that older style mechanical elevator that would have someone running it.
Right, which I can probably do.
Yes, that should be perfectly safe. Additionally, it's not going to be metal and metallic here. It's only going to seem like that.
Right, it's whatever it is.
So. So going down to the elevator, you push the button, you hear the loud noise, and eventually the doors open, and there's this decrepit old man who seems to be manning the controls.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but
Okay.
I will greet him.
Just nods very solemnly.
May I come in? Okay. Well, I don't know if it's his elevator, because it could be his elevator. So it's always polite to ask. And then I'll step in, and I'll wait for everyone else to step in.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess he step in the elevator.
Lobby, please.
wait, I thought elevators were bad.
This one should be fine. It's old enough.
It's okay. I survive it, and I'll try to help keep you alive too.
Lobby.
Yes, it's a lobby.
I mean, y'all have
Yeah.
heard of astral projection, right?
No,
No.
no.
Jack?
An astral projection?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of
That's like one of
projectors
those-
and for the astronauts, but not astral projecting.
one of those things that isn't it like people who believe in ghosts think, oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just walked into that realm.
You're muted, by the way, Rod, if you're talking to us.
I am. I was saying to Michael John, hey, if you ever play this game again, I have a character idea for you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Terrible. No, it's fine. Terrible idea.
So, elevators on this side of the place is no problem for you? Does that mean cell phones work over here for you too?
No,
Cell phones don't work over here.
nothing works over here. We're not really on Earth anymore.
I'm so confused.
So, for the two of you who took the elevator up,
Yeah.
seems like a much longer distance going down.
And then none of that crappy music playing either.
No, it's kind of eerily silent. At one point you think you hear screams of some sort. The elevator keeps going. He doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's best to just
This is a strange, sad little place.
Lobby. As the elevator suddenly comes to a jarring halt, opens up the door, and it looks like what you would have expected the lobby to look like. There are a number of people here, however. Wispy, insubstantial people.
all the ghosts that were um, probably what's it called, the actual hotel.
And you actually think you see, many of them seem to be standing queued up at the front desk.
Yep.
Like waiting in line.
Mhm.
Probably waiting to talk to Antoinette.
I would like to ask if there's anyone amongst the crowd named Lindsay. Actually, would they be able to hear me?
Are you going to try to get their attention?
I'll get Lindsay's attention.
So you call out her name?
Yes.
And yeah,
I mean, once.
Mm-hmm.
If it was any more than that, it's very bad.
Yeah, she turns and sees you, and it is clear she was murdered, right? I mean, she had been cut across. You can see she looked. This is a ghost. Looks like a murdered ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And she is coming towards you.
I mean, I'm assuming she's coming towards us, and she's not coming towards us with a murderous intent.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, that's good enough.
Help
Um,
old woman out.
Who this?
I'm sorry. What was that, Dan?
So who this?
He's asking you.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the woman who was murdered, or a woman who was murdered.
So, and you knew her name as we got off the elevator?
Yes.
How?
Told us.
Um,
Well, she told Antoinette. Then she told us.
back in the, I guess it's easier to say back on Earth.
Or back in the city, yeah.
Yeah, back in the city. I like saying back on Earth. It makes it sound more obvious.
Okay.
Now, does she look like the? I mean, does she look
She
full, or she's supposed to be?
She looks like she's been murdered.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw what the dead body of the homeless woman looked like.
This is that. Yes, this is her ghost.
Okay. Oh, I see. So did we come here to talk to her?
It sounds like it.
Well, yes and no. We came here to find, that like evil well in the city. That the energy was siphoned from, and maybe caused the hurricane. But she can give us information too.
So, is there
Maybe.
anything else we might need to know before we step outside those doors?
What warnings would I know to give people?
So you understand that your magic is definitely more powerful while you're here, right? You also understand it's also much more likely to draw notice of people using it.
Right, because if I lightning bolt someone, then
Yeah. Getting around, it's mostly so.
Finding a way.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like rolling lore for not getting lost. Now you can always anytime be like, all right, that's it. We're going to try to bug out and get back to Earth. It's just a question of where will you end up, and how difficult is it? Whew. Excuse me. That makes sense?
yeah. So they don't have to work, or he doesn't really have to worry about what he does because he doesn't do magic.
Say it again.
Or he doesn't do mortal magic, so he shouldn't really have to worry.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
No, I don't do magic at all.
They don't do magic at all.
I'm the only one.
You're the only one who needs to worry about that.
Right, so just stay close. Don't get lost. Well, if you get lost, you don't really have to worry about it.
I have to take your word for it.
Yeah.
So, what kind of information can we get from the dead lady?
Well, I
Don't think I ever spoke to a dead person before.
No, you'll probably not.
Well,
And not get a response that ease. I talk to Mom all the time.
So asking her, we'll ask her what she was doing at the hotel. I assume she was following us. But how long has she been following?
So I'm just looking maybe for some help. I'm very hungry. I haven't eaten in a while.
I don't think that's going to be a problem for you no more. That's yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's not much that we can do to help.
Okay, so she moves on to someone else.
So she doesn't actually seem to remember the
No.
conversation she had with had with what's her face in the hotel.
No, I'm afraid not.
So where you die at, Cher?
What's that?
I said, where you die at, Cher?
She's already started walking away.
Well, guess
She died in front of the Lollery mansion.
Okay.
So we'll have to go check that out at some point, I guess.
So, I'm not sure. Are you trying to find something here, Gabe, in this area, or?
I mean, ultimately the goal is to find the portal, not the portal, but where they took the energy from to make the hurricane, because that's
Right.
it'd be a really obvious thing, right?
Well, yes.
How would you know?
I
Because
ain't got no idea.
Whatever, you just pull stuff through.
So you go, yeah.
I'm assuming you're not going to pull that much energy through like much.
No, probably not.
You're going to be like.
And this ghost that you were just talking to, she just died a few days ago, so she's not connected with Katrina. She's connected with Allegra.
Yes.
Right.
She was the
Okay.
body that was used by Allegra to fake her death.
Yes. Okay. So
Yep.
we know. I mean,
Well, this
we know the reason for her murder.
Yep.
But what about the choice of using her for the? I mean, there's homeless all over the quarter. Why this particular one? And why in front of the? What was the place she said?
Lalaurie. It's a very bad place.
So why choose the homeless girl from the Lalaurie when you can choose one someplace less bad? I
Well-
suppose.
Well, it may not be an issue of the person that was chosen, but the location I think is significant.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
Mm-hmm.
Could have just been wrong place, wrong time.
So-
Or the wrong person. You know.
So
It's gone.
this lady that already walked off, she was killed by Allegra and left to look like Allegra, picked from the Lalaurie and made to look like her to fake her death.
That sounds about right.
Actually, it's not.
Mm.
I left out I asked a few details to see if anybody's going to
I
give them to
know.
us.
But I'm just getting in the habit of going, yes.
Just say yes to Lavera. He won't know.
It's the easiest way to go. So where
Now-
do you head? What do you do? What is it you're looking for? Maybe is the right question I should ask you.
I don't think going to the Lalaurie mansion is a good idea from here. In here.
No, that would be once we get back, then we can go.
So what we doing here? In
For you had said, damn it, like the veil on this side being, what was it?
Like, so we know that the car that was pulled for Katrina was pulled from the Never Never. How do we figure out where that was pulled from? Because he said that it would be here, and he said that it would be really noticeable.
You'll
so,
kind of have to do some searching around here.
so what we looking for?
So tell me how you search.
I'm a wizard. Hey, look, I can pull power from there. That thing is.
You can pull power from anywhere here. Remember, you don't cast spells here.
Right.
You just straight up roll your conviction,
Yeah.
your discipline.
Mhm.
Everything that you do is, it's not a weapon 4, but it's I just roll discipline and hit the guy.
Right.
So,
Well, I think the disconnect rod is more. There isn't a map of the Never Never. You know,
Uh,
the Lalaurie Mansion in the Never Never could be 5 hours away from where we are right now.
it absolutely.
Okay, because metaphysically the distance is there. Unless you know what you're looking for, we can't say, well, where did this portal? Where is this portal that pulled in all this magic? Because the Never Never, there's no way to figure out exactly where that happened within the Never Never, if that makes sense.
It does. I understand.
Mhm.
And you might
didn't,
as well.
Because
However, Ralph said room 1462 is what you wanted. If he knows what he's talking about, it may be that what you're looking for is somewhere close by. You just have to come up with an idea for it. Here, you know what? Here's how we're finding it.
And it also might be that it is room, what was it, 1465?
1462.
1462. It may be that room is what you need to look at first.
what room did we come out of when we?
1462.
1462.
I guess we go back to the room. And
Okay.
Search there.
Okay. So give me a roll.
What am I rolling? Lore or investigation?
No, investigation.
Hey, Gus.
Okay.
Never know.
Gus will see what he can find in this room. And that's at a +1, so I forgot to add it. So 4.
And you said there are windows, some kind of weird windows in this place?
Yeah, it just looks like cloudy outside it.
Okay, I'm just going to see if I can see the street from our angle. Through the window.
Incidentally, as kind of you get back in at one point, some sort of almost alien-looking creature seems to be riding up with you. It does not get off.
Eyes straight.
I'll see what I can describe.
No. Eyes straight. I don't want to know.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to look at.
Like, kind of almost like goatish legs, but some sort of like bug-like chitinous exterior exoskeleton, taller than all of you.
Yeah.
I've not read much of. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh no, it's some sort of demon.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Just say that. Just say it's a demon. It's
Okay.
It's all demons.
Yes, they do.
And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm not gonna look at it.
It's like being at Dragon Con where there's somebody that's not dressed appropriately, and you're like, let's just not look.
That's everywhere at Dragon Con where there's something.
Oh yeah, okay.
Appropriately.
And if
Yeah, it's so awful. It's great.
All right. So how did you do search in that room?
It's a 4.
Good enough to find an old newspaper dated June 7th, 1935. Says, I will on Saturday, the 22nd day of June, 1935. Offer for sale at the courthouse, the famous haunted house of Madame Lalaurie. And as you're kind of reading this, the view in the window seems to change, and it looks like you're looking down on New Orleans, on the French Quarter in the 30s.
Hey, my friends, there's something changing outside the window. I can see the streets now. They don't look the same.
They most certainly do not.
Go to this auction. Maybe we could see who bought it.
have I seen anything that looks like out of place? Or that looks specific.
So you think you'd probably the view you have, like you know where Lalaurie Mansion is. You're not on the right side of the building to see it,
I guess we'll have to go to the right side of the building to see it.
which is either so kind of just walking through, looking for the right room where you can kind of get a view.
Yes.
Is that a good idea?
No, give me a lore roll to not get lost in here.
Oh no.
Ooh, you guys can be lost in space and time.
I got a great.
Was a fun game, y'all.
No, it just changes the parameters.
Yeah.
I go, all right, we're going to end a little early. I have some stuff to work out. But it wouldn't be like moving the whole campaign to Boston, Ty Pugh. You know what you did. All right. So you can manage, you realize as you're looking in these rooms that you should leave all the doors open.
Yep.
To this hallway.
Yep.
Kind of keep each other in sight, that sort of thing.
Everyone stay close.
Yes, and you do. And you kind of look out and you see the mansion, which I showed you the picture earlier. Michael John?
Yep.
I'm going to need you to roll discipline for me.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Discipline for me.
What?
What was it? One discipline.
Okay.
For no good reason at all. Says it right there.
No. So you see the house, and all of a sudden, as you're looking at it, like it looks decrepit. It looks old. It's covered in like some sort of viscous black substance. And even here across the city, you can smell it. Because as you see it, it totally brings back to your memory what you were looking at in the garden. And your ever-present third eye opens. In fact, you know what? Your ever-present third eye opens. I think you should just take some stress from that. So I'm going to give you a point. Here you go. Now, you don't have to keep it.
What kind of stress?
Oh, mental stress.
How much?
I haven't told you yet.
Well, I don't have shared trauma anymore.
What?
I don't have.
Correct. And I'm not trying to compel that. I'm giving you a point for the ever-present third eye.
Sure.
Are you keeping that point?
Yes.
All right, we'll call that 6 mental stress. But it's still going to decrease in power and strength going forward.
Why did I take 6 mental stress before?
So the first time you looked at it, it was strength 4, right? It's like an attack 4 with a weapon 4.
Yes.
And then you reduce it to a 3 and a 3. That's why it's 6. Next time you see this thing, it'll be 2 and a 2.
I thought I successfully.
You did, but that's why I said, I should compel you. I'm compelling you to fail instead.
There's what you compels for.
I'll take 4 and I'll take a minus.
All right, what mile are we talking about?
I don't know. I'll have headaches.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
Always headaches. Nosebleed, maybe.
Headaches are a pretty common ailment for wizards.
Yeah, they are.
Can confirm.
Now, we'll still use that roll. You managed to kind of put it behind you. You don't have to close the sight again. You get control. You guys might see a little almost hiccup, stutter step as he was kind of heading towards the window, and you probably end up having to look away.
And MJ, another good one that you can use is after image. That every time you close your eyes, you still see it. Yeah,
that's really what you got going on.
Yeah, until he goes, I'm going to invoke your after image. Hey, take another 6 mental stress. You looked at it again.
No.
Oops.
No, you're saying the mild consequence could be after images?
Yeah, bro.
That's actually pretty good.
I don't know.
I like that.
That sounds cool.
No, it doesn't.
It sounds like people.
Just think when you close your eyes, you'll be able to get over it faster.
I don't want to die.
Now, why don't those of you looking out the window, the 3 of you, since he's just kind of looked away, unless you'd like to risk looking again.
Well, I know where we need to go.
You do. But why don't the 3 of you give me a lore roll?
All right.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm. Looks like what? It looked like an old house to me, I guess. Jeez,
Oh my gosh.
I thought I was bad off.
Roll -4.
Yeah, I mean, I have -4s everywhere.
Looking for your standard
Wow.
3, like like an aspect.
Nice, I got.
Do you have anything that would add to yours, Dave?
That would add to.
You've
to
seen
my
some stuff.
lore.
If you'd like to spend a point for you've seen some stuff.
I have seen some stuff. You're right. There, I've seen some stuff.
You have. So, really, what it is that all of you see versus what I'm going to tell you the aspect, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
What you all see is it looks like the sky above the Lowry mansion is all like cracked and like broken. If you were to imagine, like if lightning had struck multiple times and left this, like if it had struck glass and this glass had cracks running through it, that is kind of what the sky looks like above the mansion. With your 3, you have seen some stuff. You suspect that the aspect of damaged and distressed veil exists there.
Yep. Well, that must be it. That's our place where the border is weaker or whatever.
So that sky above the place, that's not supposed to be like that. That's not normal.
Have you seen this guy that looks like that?
But now this is my first time here, so nope.
Well, mine too.
Kind of, trying to get a look. It's you might be able to you could probably validate,
Sure.
What Jack thinks.
So that's probably where evil people may or may not be.
So maybe we go back to the real world and go visit there ourselves.
Veil is also probably something new to you.
Yes. Just bad. Everything's bad.
Welcome to New Orleans.
I hate it.
Do you?
No, not a joke. So I would like to. Well, first I'd like to go back to the room where we started in, then open a portal back. Assuming that no one else does anything else they want to do here.
No, this place is a little weird for me.
Well, you did very well finding your way here. I don't think you need another roll to find your way back.
Okay. That's all the doors open.
Mm-hmm.
What was the discipline?
The memory.
The memory of the house and the stench and all that stuff from the gala.
That's why I said, you know what? Let me give you the compel as if you had failed the roll completely.
Oh.
That's why you got 6
You
stress.
can compel to just fail.
You can compel for anything. It's all about what you negotiate.
I rolled actually well.
I know, and that's why I said, all right, afterwards you close your. But you get the full effect of the for a moment.
So we had that note saying that the mansion was going to be auctioned. Can we go to the auction in the Never Never and watch and see who buys it?
I don't know. Does it work that way, Gabe?
Good question.
I like that. Let's try that out.
I did not think of that.
Is that how this place works? We can go there and,
Well, actually, adding on to that, it seems like this has been going on since 1935. Is that correct?
That may also be a way to look at it.
We have big
well,
issues.
wait a minute. We don't have to go there and look for it now. We can actually go to the Hall of Records back in the real world and look up this auction. We have a date. We have a time. A year.
Exactly.
We have a location. It should all be public record.
Yeah, we can see stuff in the past on Never Never. I'm not sure we're going to see stuff in the future. That's not usually how.
So the public record would give us something different than going there in person would.
But I don't. That was.
But it's the safer way to go.
That was what?
It's a safer way to go.
That was 70 years ago, give or take.
Yep. Almost a little bit more than 70. Yeah.
So I don't see how we gonna be able to go back and check something from 70 years ago.
Well, I mean, look around. It's 70 years ago.
Uh,
I don't know how it works. Mr. Wizard has assured us it's not time travel.
It is not time travel.
so,
And yet,
Mr. Wizard, is it? They just,
Well,
Oh, Ralph
we're
told him.
we're seeing the echoes.
Because time traveling would get me in trouble. And I do
Yeah.
not want to be in very big trouble.
So if this is echoes,
is there a way
it's kind
to?
of like the ghosts, right? Okay, so if this is echoes, we might be able to go and see it. We couldn't actually change the past because it's not the real past. It's
But
just
we
the
don't change the
echoes.
past.
Hmm?
We don't change the past.
That
Well,
would be swimming against the currents of time,
That's,
and that gets your head cut off.
that's fine. I saw that movie. I know it's not a good idea.
Which movie was that?
Pick a time travel movie.
Any of them.
Yeah.
Okay, since I've been carrying this newspaper around,
What's that? You have the newspaper clipping.
yeah. So I'm going to try something a little bit different on this to see if I can get a little bit more psychometry.
Ooh.
You might be getting a little bit much.
I know I am going to take stress from this. So
Yeah, this is you're using psychometry on something you found in the Never Never.
right. And tied to a place of real darkness.
It's an echo, not the original.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Give me your psychometry roll.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things. But the first thought I had was, yeah, if he's doing that, he's right. He should take mental stress. We'll see what he rolls. Seem fair?
Sounds fair to me.
All right. So let's assign that mental stress. Are you having after images?
I don't know yet. Depends on how much.
You just rolled how much?
Oh, I just took 6 stress.
That's what you rolled, yeah.
Okay. Then I have to take a
Psychometry is, I think, pretty powerful here. And I was like,
Yeah.
psychometry in the Never Never is probably as close to the side as you're going to get.
Right.
So how many mental
So-
stress bubbles do you have?
I have 3, so I'm going to have to take a moderate consequence. Because the
That's-
moderate gives me 3, right?
It takes away
Moderate
4.
will remove 4.
Okay. So then I
Take 2 mental. What's the moderate consequence?
This is more than a minor.
Yeah, this is a pretty big one.
Did you just take a paper cut to your brain?
Yeah, basically. I'm trying to think of a good one. I just kind of at a loss because headaches and things.
Let's talk about what you're seeing, and maybe that will suggest a consequence.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So 6. I want to give you more than an aspect, especially because you're also taking 6 mental stress. I want to be careful.
Well, okay. I'm also going to remind you of my trouble. Other people's tragedy finds me.
Oh yeah, no. I'm about to give you some tragedy.
Okay.
I was thinking that there's going to be you kind of almost see some of the history of the place unfolding and find yourself captured in it?
Yes.
Did you just come up with one?
Despair.
Oh my,
Uh-oh.
that's excellent. Um, is just straight up that it? Just one word?
Just despair. Yeah.
Oh,
So
oh
when
my
I go
God.
visit,
Find
when I
you
go
now.
visit Anascavis,
Yeah, she wants to come find you now. She knows somewhere. She's like, the world has changed. um, yeah, so I mean, as you experience at the sale, and even kind of going back further than you think you should have,
Mhm.
it's basically like you pulled a lot of the just by looking at this article and touching the picture of the house, you've summoned into your mind the experiences of the slaves who had been tortured there, right?
Yep.
A couple of things are going to stand out. You keep hearing the phrase, and it's like someone's whispering it. Nature abhors a vacuum. Kind of like the one of the last things that you hear. Someone just almost whispering, nature abhors a vacuum.
Okay.
And at the you know what, let me do a quick translation into Latin here. Okay. That's not what I wanted you to do. I realize I should have translated that a while ago. You see a fairly, youngish looking guy standing there, well dressed. Looks a little, while he's well dressed, his clothes seem 50, 60 years older than everyone around him. This is
Uh-huh.
1930s. He looks more like he's wearing styles from like the 1850s.
So
Okay.
okay.
Okay. And you can see a book, some older kind of almost it's hard to see what it is. I'll ask you in a moment. Actually, give me an alertness roll. We'll see if you
Okay.
spot this during your vision.
Da, da, da.
I mean, I don't know for that 6 minutes.
I know. Why I'm telling them a couple of different things.
Yes.
Can you get that to a?
Oh, I have no fate points left.
Oh, you don't.
Mm-mm.
You're holding a book. You can't quite see the title. It looks like it's in Latin. But it also looks like almost more like a journal than an actual book. And the youngish guy, he actually looks familiar.
I'm going back to the night of the gala.
Yeah.
There was one of the people that was out, and I'm trying to find my notes on who all the people were.
You had as the season turns, one seeking power comes to spring's return to find another to devour. You had your
Right.
unsaid guest.
Yes. Do we still have the list of all the people that were at the gala?
Like me, here you go.
Okay.
I just shared that to you.
Yes. Because I can't find all my notes. There was a guy we had not heard of before or seen before. I'm trained.
That probably would have been Carter LaChase.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does not look like him.
Okay. Oh, there it is for Clan LaChase.
Yeah.
Carter LaChase. Okay. But he looks familiar. Does he look like somebody from the gala?
Like what?
Does he look like somebody that was at the gala?
You know, actually bears kind of a family resemblance.
To LeVere?
No. If he looks like he could actually be the son or much younger brother of Wizard Lindsay Hart.
Ah, okay.
Why are you humping over there? I wonder why he's
Okay. And just because of the timing, it just could be him.
Could 70 years ago.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Just the kind of as it's ending, it's almost like he turns to you and whispers, "Nature abhors a vacuum." And it's kind of in that creepy way, as if like, you know, when you're in a dream and a ghost, like if you're dreaming or a ghost says something directly to you, you know they're not there, but you just get that. You get that. And then you guys basically see he's touching the thing and this kind of almost collapses to the floor.
No, he does collapse to the floor.
I catch him. I'll
Okay.
catch him before he does.
Okay.
And I mean, that's because at that point is when this is all as you're passing by it. And then he's probably having almost a mini seizure as he's being tortured as the slaves were.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll catch him as he goes to fall, pick him up, and say, I think it's time to go. Can we get the fuck out of here?
Well, I'll go treat him or check him, make sure he's okay.
No, I'm okay. I just saw some things from this clipping.
All right.
I need psychiatric help.
Can you?
Yes.
Can you stand?
Yeah. Yes.
I've
Experienced.
I've got you
Yeah.
like this.
I just experienced the torture of all the slaves that Lottery, tortured. But there was also
that psychometry can be very powerful in the Never Never.
Oh yeah. There was also a young man standing there in the 30s. It looked like either a son or younger brother to Wizard Lindsay Hart. And he was carrying a book, and as the vision ended, he whispered, "Nature abhors a vacuum."
Holding a book?
Maybe a journal.
Well, whatever that means. Let's get out of here. Go back to the norm.
Yes.
This place seemed to affect the two of you real bad.
Takes them real good.
So I think it's time to go home.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mr. Wizard?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Wizard.
Screw Andy. Take us back.
Okay.
I don't want to be here because this place kind of sucks.
It's fine.
It's good for learning information. My head hurts.
Yeah, it does. Your
There
head
seems to
your head
be-
currently hurts.
There does seem to be a strong correlation between learning information and people's heads hurting.
Huh.
Maybe too bad
Yeah, I
one day
guess there is.
you learn too much information and your head do more than hurt.
But Gabe, you may want to go speak to Wizard Hart about the Lalaurie Manor.
Just walk up to him and just say the phrase. See what happened.
What phrase? What nature?
Nature abhors a vacuum.
Maybe. Actually looked up what that meant, and there's a whole Wikipedia thing on it.
Yep.
Going back to that.
Now, from what you've seen, do you think he need to go by himself?
No.
Or should someone go with him?
What's that?
Does he think he needs to go by himself, or does someone need to go with him?
I think somebody should go with him, and
In case he's super evil, and kill him.
You're in the hotel room discussing this?
yeah.
Never. Actually, no. At this point, we're
Yeah, you're back on Earth.
Yeah.
Okay. And yet, for some reason, it looks like he's reopening the portal to the Never Never because it seems to be opening the same way that he opened it. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
It's like something has followed you here.
Yep. What followed us here?
Well, I know it's a little early, but this is a great time to pause before
Okay.
it fight starts.
Oh, you know what it is? It's the demon.
Now, it's going to be a lot more personal than that.
Oh. Okay. What's more personal than that?
Are we
Okay.
going to?
Now, all right, now,
I think
So my stress has not been removed yet. Okay.
no, probably not for the two of you.
Kind of hurts me.
Yes,
Is that-
yes,
Already?
One of my resources.
yep,
No, I'm free and clear.
and yeah, this is going to be great. Don't worry, Robert. This is going to earn you a point. Remember the actually, you know what? I'll set this up for you. It seems like it's opening, and you're not exactly sure why. You're fairly certain it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But it's you feel that same feeling. Gus feels that same feeling he did while he was trying to use psychometry on that article itself.
Uh-huh.
And that you think that's what it is. Your psychometry must still be connected to the Never Never, and it seems to be pulling something out. And well, it looks like Madame Lalaurie.
Yay. Okay.
That's
No. I mean, she's not all here.
okay. Well, that's good.
Okay.
Necromancy.
I mean,
Not on purpose.
It's on accident, but he's not a more.
He's not a caster.
So it wasn't him that did it.
No.
I certainly didn't do it.
Maybe she actually has a demand over there, and you guys weren't too far from it, and he's reached out and touched it, and that's given her the ability to cross where you all are.
And she wants to touch me now.
Not
Puts
a
a
good-
whole new meaning to reach out and touch someone.
It's going to be a great touch.
Bad touch.
Okay.
but she can't.
No, that's actually
fly,
really
so
cool.
This must be a
That's
ghost,
very
right?
okay. So next week, he is. You're at a thing next week, aren't you?
I am at his.
He's at his school awards thing.
I am at my.
I am still not certain what my availability is because of his awards thing. The following week is Memorial
I mean,
Day.
you guys need to set some priorities here. Come on.
Well, he's getting inducted into the International Thespian Society.
Right. So I kind of have.
And since when I was his age, I was also inducted into the International Thespian Society. I'm kind of happy for him. Now, oh yeah, Anna was too. Now, I did it on stage. He did his crew and support and stuff like that, which to me is the harder way to go.
It is harder to do it because I get less points for it.
Right. That's why it's the harder way to go.
I enjoy it.
So,
Right.
and Dan, that should be something that you, with your, in your job, you can appreciate.
Oh yeah.
He did it by being crew.
Yeah. Hey, the crew is really important. You need crew.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not doing the stuff they do.
No, I had to move around a 700-pound set with 2 other people, and they didn't do a good job pushing.
Oh, so you are a grip?
I was moving stuff.
Yeah, that's a grip.
Okay.
What Jim did?
He was moving stuff around. I said he was a grip.
Yeah, I was doing this.
Eh, Depends.
Unless the
What
stuff
were
he's
you moving
moving is
around?
like sets and props.
So remember,
Those
Dan
building
actually
sets.
does this professionally, and Dave used to do this when he was a tech.
So what were you moving
Oh,
around?
you were a drama tech person?
No. I did film stuff,
Ah,
and grip happened to be what I did
Yeah.
most of.
If you move rigging or like blue screens or some sort of lighting covers, then you're either grip or electric. If you're moving set pieces, then you're set dressing.
Yeah.
And if you're moving items in which the actors have to actually touch, then you're props.
Yeah, I made some props for the thing that we did Friday and Saturday
He's
night.
proud of himself. And look, it let me trigger two of you at once by saying he was a grip.
Yeah, and
That's a win-win.
I will say this for Rod. You don't want him ever to become a grip.
Yeah.
Why?
It's a lot of hard work. It will ruin your body by the time you're 40, and your career prospects for moving up are not necessarily that great.
And then of course you end up being the butt of most of the jokes behind the scenes.
Okay.
Well, I've heard the jokes the grips make, but a lot of them do involve butts. So
All right. So I have to figure out my availability for a week from now.
All right.
Memorial. Is there anyone who says we have plans? It's a holiday. I'd originally figured we would probably miss that day. But
I have plans to work on the rooms until game time, so
okay.
I'm good to go.
All right. Well, if you have
I'm good to
plans, you can go ahead and let me know. I don't want anyone to feel pressured for crap, I was going to do something.
my plan is to
But
not
you
go out in the
know-
middle of a pandemic and not do anything and
Okay.
stay
what
inside
I've
where
done-
it's safe.
This session, you guys, I think, advanced quite a bit
mm-hmm.
to the point where I think we're going to end up with a pretty significant milestone, assuming you survive La Lurie.
Well, if I might suggest then, if we're all free on Memorial Day, why don't we skip next Monday? That way you don't have to worry about.
And just shoot for Memorial Day? That works
Yeah.
for me.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure that next Monday is kind of a day off then for everyone, so that you guys can enjoy the awards.
Hopefully we'll be able to go in and see them. It's iffy.
Just wear a mask.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean Georgia, they've released all the bands.
Yeah, Georgia's completely open,
I know. We were at the Braves game on the 7th and 8th.
and masks are not necessarily
You know that too. And
needed if you're vaccinated, but it's always a good idea to wear them when you're in close quarters anyway.
oh, are you going tomorrow?
yeah, we're all going to Braves.
All going tomorrow?
Yeah, it's my two favorite teams.
Well, I hope you enjoy your sports ball tomorrow.
Thank you. It's the Braves and whoever's playing the Mets. Now that happens to be the Braves and the Braves both at the same time, but it's very important to distinguish that it's the Braves and whoever's playing the Mets.
No one likes that.
No one likes the Mets. They suck.
I mean, at least they're not the Yankees. That's all I'm saying.
No, Yankees are fine.
No, Yankees are bad.
You say that because you're in Boston now.
I used to say that before. That's why when I moved, I was like, I can get into the Red Sox. I am already kind of hating on the Yankees. So.
But it's an AL team.
Huh?
AL. American
What about
League?
it?
Ugh.
Oh,
Not real
Well,
big.
before we
I've,
get
I've had an
and,
AL team for the
I
last
guess
4 years.
I guess before we get into discussing baseball and other things, let's
Yeah,
go ahead and
take
close
it
out. We'll go ahead and step away from this. So, ladies and gentlemen, meet back with us on Memorial Weekend, Monday night, to finish up whatever happens with Madame Lalaurie following us out of the Never Never. We'll be here this Wednesday for some organized play, Friday for Rhyme of the Frost Maiden, and we're still going to be playing Dungeons with Veterans on Sunday. So, as per usual, have yourselves a good week. Remember, we're all in this adventure called life together, so remember the golden rule. Treat those around you the way you'd like to be treated yourself. And with that, Have a good week. And